the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground.
Good to have the music.
Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining us from. It's Tuesday, and we have the panel. And of course, every Tuesday, we bring some faces to some of our commenters over to the side. I've got a lot of new guests on, but they haven't showed up yet. We have two of the regulars on here right now, John Wells and Rudy Tiger Woods. How do you pronounce your last name, Rudy?
Magallanes.
Magallanes, yeah.
Yes.
We're waiting on Michael, the Beach of Life. Did you send that link to the black man in the village? I hope you did. Hey, Dennis Snyder, what's going on? No power's out. We're on here. We're on here at the right time today. Before we get started, let me say this. I got some bad news, actually. A 44-year-old Austrian national died 3 days after being beat to death with what we call brass knuckles over in the United States. The Filipino suspect is still at large. But the funny thing about this is this. This is the strange thing about it. He was beat, they took him to the hospital, and then even though his CT scans, hey, John, we can hear you. Go ahead and mute yourself if you want to talk. But anyway, even though his CAT scans show brain injury, his 23-year-old fiance persuaded the doctors at the hospital to release him. Well, by the time they get home, he's throwing up blood, he loses consciousness. She turns around, takes him back to the hospital, he's pronounced dead. 44 years old, and Filipinos don't fight fire, but who does fight fire? But I tell you, you don't want trouble over here. I don't know what he did. It doesn't say in the article. It doesn't say whether it was a robbery. It doesn't say if they were drinking. It doesn't say. It just says two witnesses. There was two people that witnessed it. They told who it was, and they're hunting him right now. So yeah, that's some sad news, man. Nobody comes over here to die. Yeah, he was beat to death. But also,
where was that at, Calvin?
Cagayan. It was not Cagayan de Oro.
Yeah.
Cagayan up in Luzon. Yeah, he was 44 years young, man.
Wow.
But on some good news, the peso is 50.48 to the dollar. That's about as high as it's been since it was 51 the other day. Who is that making that noise? Is that you, Rudy?
I'm muted.
Okay, that's you, John.
Well,
that's your fan. That's your fan.
Let me take care of that. Is
also,
that better?
Before I get started, the Philippines, the whole country is under alert 2 until December the 15th. They were even thinking about de-escalating it all the way to alert 1 and being the new normal, but they're afraid of the Omicron variant, which hasn't hit here yet. But because of the threat of the Omicron, they decided to keep it at alert 2. This for the whole country. That's why it's so easy to get around now. I'm due to be in Cebu on Wednesday to visit my son and just, take in a few of the sites there before this variant hits. I see the NTZ crews on here. Of course, John's on here. Is Jacob Tanjay on here yet? Levon White. Also, I had a young Filipino artist here. He did me and John's, I guess you would call it you wouldn't call it an anime, but it's a cartoon, and we're going to use it for our thumbnail on our Sunshine Shoulders, Moonshine Shoulders, Happy Hour on Friday. You'll see it on Friday. He did a real good job. I hard him, he's real shy. Hey, Philip Rogers said, John Wells, you're a celebrity. I see 3 or 4 different channels saying good things about you. Filipino Info Channel had a 10-minute conversation about you and how nice of a person you are. Wow, John. We've got one of our guests that we sent the link out to, Robert Jones. How you doing, Robert?
Hey, I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm fine. Go ahead and introduce yourself and kind of give us a little background, on your connection to the Philippines. Who are you? Are you off the hamster wheel? Whatever you're doing.
Yeah. Hey, so again, my name is Robert Jones. I'm 48. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. Actually, I was born in Japan. I'm half black, half Japanese. As far as the Philippines, my father took me there when I was a baby, coming from Japan, and we lived in Manila. And he used to tell me stories about it, but that's the most of it. How I got into looking into the Philippines was about the food. I was like, you know what? I want to do a bucket list of different Asian countries and food. And as I was on YouTube looking up different Filipino foods, YouTube brought your video up, and that's how I got onto you, Calvin. And from there, I've been following you. And then from your platform, you've really helped out other vloggers. So, I follow Cliff and Rue and Ray Quayle, Del Santos, Jing, and all of them, Seth Travels. My game plan, after really watching your videos and many other vloggers out there in the Philippines, one thing all you guys had in common was the cost of living, the slow pace of life, how you could go there and you could relax and enjoy life. I'm 48 now. I'm still on the hamster wheel, but I'm definitely, I have a 10-year plan, if not sooner, by 58 to be out there. But until then, I plan to come like 2 or 3 times a year, if not more, get the lay of the land, understand the people, the culture, and definitely experience the food, man. That's my big thing. Don't get me wrong, Filipina, but I'm not coming there just for that. Like, I'm not having issues with women here. It's just more or less I'm looking for more like just peace. You know what I'm saying? Peace of mind. So I want to come. I want to relax. I want to reset and just enjoy it, man.
Yeah, that sounds good. That reset. That's what I try to tell guys. That's what I did. What's your profession, Robert? If you don't mind saying.
So I'm in healthcare. I do sterile processing, which is basically all the instrumentation that's used in operation procedures. We're the department that gets it all in. We clean them up. We put them together. We sterilize it. We prepare them for the next day cases or emergency cases. Actually, what I'm doing now, I just left my job of 10 years as a manager at a hospital in St. Louis to do traveling. So basically, I'm working for different agencies where I'm going to different hospitals in different cities all over the United States on contract. So that reason I did that. So if I did a 3 or 6 month contract, I can take a month or 2 off. And that was my game plan, to go to the Philippines for that month or 2 and then come back and then start back working again.
Have you ever heard, you from St. Louis, have you ever heard of Essence Healthcare?
Essex? E-S-S-E-X?
Essence.
Oh, Essence.
Healthcare.
So who I worked for in St. Louis is BJC Healthcare System. They're like one of the bigger healthcare organizations out there in St. Louis. Right now, I'm in Columbus, Ohio, working at Ohio State University Medical Center.
Yeah, Essence is a healthcare company. It's a Medicare Advantage healthcare company. Their headquarters is in St. Louis, Missouri. I had a big contract with them for 2 years, 2009, 2010, and earned some serious money with them. And that's why when you said St. Louis, my ears perked up a little bit. Jason Flint said, "What's the panel about today?" Well, it was supposed to be a professional panel today, Jason. I had Eric Terry, he's in healthcare. Robert Jones in healthcare. I had Frank Tate, who was retired from the IRS. His wife, Lilibeth, they haven't showed up. They never sent me their email to get the link. She's a cook. And of course, Rudy on her, he's just a professional nut.
He's a professional Air Force recruiter. Hey, Rudy, how you doing, man? This is Big Rob. How you doing?
John's a professional drinker, connoisseur of drinking.
Cheers, John.
Alcohol.
Johnny Walker.
Only coffee today so
What?
far.
Oh, okay.
What's going on, Levon White? Good to see you, Sam Champion. Are you at work today, Rudy?
Yes, I
Rudy?
am. Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. What do you do all day besides watch YouTube at work?
Right.
I fix what you call this. I'm the IT specialist here at the university.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good. You see, John used to be engineer, right? What's your title, John?
A process engineer and manufacturing engineer. I've worked as both. I did work for a healthcare company, Abbott Laboratories, for 17 years.
Oh, wow. Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. We've got some good professionals on here. Now, have you ever dated a Filipino, Robert, or you got any Filipino friends?
Was it dating? I would say about a year ago. It was a coworker. She was Filipino. She was actually, she's from Manila, but she's been living here in the States for at least 7 to 8 years. Her father lives here in the United States, and he's the one who brought her out here or what have you. That's my closest thing as far as being, around a Filipino. And when I was telling her like about the food and everything, she was telling me a lot about, the Philippines or what have you. And it was cool.
The Prodigy says this is an earlier start than normal, Calvin. No, it's not. See, we don't have all that crazy daylight savings time over here.
Right.
This is the same time I always come on. It has a lot to do with wherever you're living and all that time changing and stuff over there. Steele says, is your volcano behaving? Yeah, but it's considered active over here. Now, I don't know about the that one over by Cliff, the tall volcano, because his car stays covered with that
Ash.
Ash, man. Hey, Mr. Most Scientific, aloha. He's the guy that did that sketch of you, John. He's supposed to have been doing a sketch of me.
I loved it.
He been able to finish it, I guess. Beach of Life, did you ever get a chance to send that link to the black man in the village? He's also in healthcare, Jason, and what he does, he's down in Lady. And I really wanted him on here because he's really unique. He met his Filipino wife in the States.
Yeah.
But he gives free physicals and free checkups to the locals in his area. I mean, it really, it's a big help. Imagine getting a free checkup.
Yeah. I subscribe to his channel and I'm watching, I know he's a registered nurse. So he's giving out, free medication, pediatric medication to the kids, man. He's doing really good things out there.
Yeah. See, when this Austrian died, I'm just reading between the lines, guys. And this lady, his 23-year-old fiance persuaded the doctor. Sounds like he didn't have any insurance. I think that's what that was. That's what that sounds like. Because why in the world would you have him released from the hospital. He's showing a brain injury. I'm pretty sure, if you get beat pretty bad with brass knuckles, I'm pretty sure he was pretty messed up. And that's probably what it was. But a lot of Filipinos, they think they're super women. She probably thought I can take him home and fix him up. But no, man, he ended up dying. But that's what it sounds like. It sounded like a money problem or insurance problem. And that's one thing you don't want over here. Don't come over here. I don't care if you're going to be here for 2 weeks. You better have some money or some insurance, man. And I don't understand, why that guy beat him up. That's the crazy thing about a lot of these articles over here. They don't really go into detail.
I can't do moderation. Rick O.D., would somebody boot him off here, please?
Who?
Rick O.D.
Where is he, John? I'll find him.
Yeah, get rid of him.
Hey, Rock TV says, what up, Cal? I'm back on for December 28th and the baby Christian. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, he wants me to attend that. Rock actually asked me, man, I feel honored, man, to be the godfather. Because over here, that's a big deal. I mean, I told him, I said, man, you better check with your wife, before you appoint me the godfather. He said, Brother Cal, he said, the last time I checked, I had 2 balls.
Right.
That's my guy right there, see.
Well, as far as
he said, I wear the balls in the house.
As far as the godchildren go, I've had 4 or 5 people want me to be a godparent to their children. I always tell them I'm too old. But poor Janessa here, she said before she had a rich foreigner, nobody ever asked her to be a godparent, but now she's had about 6 or 7 offers. So,
yeah. Hey, Chriselle, good to see you. She said, happy holidays. Everyone's busy preparing. You got to experience Filipino Christmas and New Year. You do, man. Nobody does Christmas like the Philippines. It reminds me of it brings back memories when I was a child. I mean, it's a big deal. And John, I'm going to probably need you and Janessa to help. I'm going to have my Christmas party in Center Mall. Okay. We're going to rent a canopy, and we're going to have the same people that catered my house blessing. We're going to have them cater, and we'll probably have about 30 locals. We're going to feed them. We're going to have some games, karaoke. Then I'm going to have some raffle off some gifts like rice cooker, bag of rice, fans, different things like that.
Yeah, we'll help out.
Yeah, Jay Bailey said, Calvin, how can I get a wrench? I'll give you one when I get back on YouTube, because I can't give you one on StreamYard. They won't allow me to. Hey, how's it going, Bobby G? But yeah, I was going to ask the black man from the village, like, how did you meet your wife? And, a little bit about her history, because maybe somebody else might have brought her over, or maybe she was a nurse that came over, but he never did.
In one of his videos, Calvin, he does talk about how he met her, and how he met her, and I guess it was back in the States. They were doing some work, but in one of those videos, if you ever get a chance, kind of look up one of those videos. He does talk about how he actually met her.
Okay, yeah. There's another guy that comes out here, Ty Sanders. He met his Filipino wife in the States. That's something that I like to talk to somebody about, because, usually when you hear somebody meeting a Filipino in the States, he's an expat. Somebody else brought her over there, and their marriage didn't work out, a relationship didn't work out, and he stepped in. But I haven't got their story, so I really don't know. Johnny, you haven't had any trouble over here with anybody trying to fight you, have you?
No, and I tell you, I mean, I have joked and had a lot of fun with my neighbors. I mean, we cut on each other and everything else. I've never had an issue.
Yeah. Rudy.
Yes.
When's the last time you've been to the Philippines?
Hold on.
Rudy's supposed to be working. Look at him.
What you
Yeah.
got is I haven't been there for 2 years.
So the last time you was here was 2019.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever tried to cause problems for you?
No. Because I can speak the language anyway, so I know what they're coming up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I say,
He's a little embarrassed to say he hates Christmas, and yes, I'm a Christian.
like I say, as far as the problems go, I lived in a squatter neighborhood for almost 2.5 years, and I never had any issue with my neighbors. I mean, we got along great. I drank with them and everything else.
William Fouché says, I was reading some Philippine history. It said before Spanish rule, women were major decision makers and healers over there.
I think they still are.
In a lot of ways, they are over here, but men are strict over here to their women. Filipinos, they get a lot of freedom when they marry foreigners. I was talking to a guy today, and that's one of his problems. He says, my wife got so much freedom. They don't really have a lot of freedom over here. I mean, they're the most free Asian women, but I mean, as far as they don't do a whole lot of talking back to the men and stuff over here. So yeah.
No, they do Tampo instead.
Yeah, that's their way of confrontation. Oh, that's Jason Tanjay. Good to see you, brother. I appreciate it. So you were a little child, Robert, when you came to the Philippines. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So after Vietnam, my father lived in Japan, met my mother, married her. They had me. I came back to the States. I want to say I was about maybe 3 or 4. But my father used to say, like, man, we went to several different countries and lived. He mentioned Manila, Philippines. And that was one of my goals, was to bring him back to the Philippines. His health is not going to let him do it, but that's something I'm still working on. But yeah, living in the Philippines, when we talk about balut, he said, I ate balut, I ate all that. I don't recall none of it, of course, but that's my story as far as being in the Philippines. I have no recollection of it, but my father, he would tell stories from time to time.
Do you speak Japanese?
I do not. That's one thing I do not.
Your mother didn't. That's kind of interesting. Usually it's the mother who teaches the mother tongue. She was from Japan, right?
Okinawa. Was born in Okinawa. So, and of course, as you might know, Calvin, and everybody else here, that Japanese culture, they were not into interracial marriage, dating, children. What my father was telling me, they both agreed that it was best that he brought me back to the States because her family would not have accepted me.
Really?
Because we're mixed, yeah, and from what he was telling me, and from what I've learned, that's just old school Japanese culture. They didn't believe, they would not accepted me. And I was like, well, how come moms didn't come with us? And it was that strong family ties that she wanted to stay there with family.
Yeah. So Volvo, thanks for that super chat. He's from New Zealand. He said, I once made fun, a joke to a Filipino about her relatives. He said, next thing I knew, I had the Mindanao warrior in front of my nose. Yeah, you got to be careful over here, man. You don't know who the enemy is a lot of times, man, to be honest with you. And you don't know who's kin to who.
Oh, everybody's kin. Everybody's related.
You certainly don't want to talk about anybody over here. I've done that before. And he's like, man, that's my sister. And I'm like, huh? He said, yeah, you're going to run into that a lot over here, guys. So be careful. Robert Dane, what's going on, Robert? He says, of all the 7 disarming secrets of a Filipino, which one captures more men for her? And is she even aware? It's absolutely number 1, though. She's going to pussy whoop you into submission. That's the one that gets more men, and she doesn't know it. I mean, that's what men come over here for. I tell them, I say it for them because they're afraid to say it. but everybody over here knows why you're here. Even the little kids know why you're here. You're the only one in denial. and if you're over here for some other reason, they think you over here for that. So we all get lumped into one bowl over here, guys. That's why we should stick together over here, man. We shouldn't be fighting each other. Hey, Jay Bell, thanks for that super sticker. Yeah, that's the one, Robert. But the pampering gets them too, I'm not going to lie. You like that pampering, John?
Oh, yes. But I draw a line. I don't want to get too dependent on anyone.
But what's pampering to you, John? What kind of pampering? Not wiping sweat off your face, but something else.
As far as pampering goes, I mean, I know a lot of guys here that don't know where their clothes come from because they're laid out for them. I know guys that don't know how to take a bath because they get washed every day. I mean, the pampering is a lot of it's good and I enjoy it. But like I say, I always try to be a little independent myself.
Yeah, she does about everything for me here except wipe my behind. I do that myself. I got to do that while
if you wanted her to.
Yeah, I know, but you have to. Hey, I think this is Lynn, San Diego 102.
Yes, it is. Hi, Lynn. Good to see you.
California 102. But that's another thing that Filipinos do. Y'all don't put. Oh, okay. He's been sick. He says, CNUICU says black man in the village has been sick and recovering now. Let me check real quick my Gmail to see if Frank Tate and his wife sent me anything. And I will, no, they haven't sent me. They never sent me their email. Because they really wanted to be on the show. Vanilla's fine and said, my wife is Filipino. We were both born and raised in San Francisco, California. Oh, okay. So she's basically an American of Filipino descent, right? Is that what that is? Just like I'm an American of African descent. Yeah, she's like an American. Yeah, Clip and Rue says Rudy's missing his work alerts.
I want Rudy's job.
Yeah, he got it made over there.
Rudy don't want to get off the hamster wheel. He ain't doing anything.
This is my job. I love my job. Yeah,
I'll see why.
I love my job. Look at all the toys I got.
The light says
never work on.
You see this one? Look how big this sucker is.
It's all for show, Calvin. It's all for show.
I know he's showing out now. The light says, "Hey, when you coming back to the States?" I may never come back. To be honest with you, don't you miss the women from America? Not really. To be honest with you, no.
I miss the women in America like a case of the crabs.
Yeah, like I'm a crime. I'm not. No, I don't miss the women in America. But I'm gonna tell you, my next video is addressing stuff like that. I'm not gonna give it away, but it's a good one. My problems basically are my own making. I'll put it like that. I'm not gonna blame it on the women, America, the people. It sent us right in here to me.
Roy Jones.
Okay, yeah.
That's not true, Roy. I tell you, my neighbors were so good. One guy, every time I went by his house, we'd have 3 or 4 shots of Imperador. I felt so darn guilty. I actually took him a bottle of Imperador and said, I've had so many shots off you here. You take that for next time.
Yeah. But have you found out, can Filipinos drink or not, John?
No. Well, they're small people, and most of them get drunk before me, and I get drunk fairly easy.
Yeah, you get drunk fairly easy. Because I remember, let's see, in 2017, when I came here, somebody had given me, I don't know why they did it, but they gave me a 5th of Old Forester bourbon for Christmas. So I brought it over here to the Philippines, and I gave it to her brother who's in the Army, and him and some of his friends. They drank that, man, and they were literally crawling on the ground.
I've seen a lot of guys pass out.
Yeah, they can't handle stuff like that. They usually drink Imperator and Tanduay and Red Horse. They can't handle the real stuff. Jay Bell says, I'll be there to visit for a month as soon as it opens up. First step in my process of moving there. It would be great to meet you when I arrive. Baguio is the city I'm most interested in. Yeah, Baguio's opened up now, too. All you need is your vaccine card. Nifty, John, he actually emailed me yesterday because we supposed to play tennis. And I asked him, I said, what was the process of you going over to Cebu? He said, it's easy. He said, but you have to show the Coast Guard your vax card, and then they'll give you a pass that you can buy your ticket.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. He said he's going to tell me what it's like coming back.
Well, you know as well as I do, Calvin, going into Oriental's easy. It's coming into Occidental that's the problem. So we'll see.
Yeah, but it's really no problem now, John, because see, it's a problem because Janessa's not vaccinated. Right. If she was vaccinated, it wouldn't be a problem. They just asked me for now going to Dumaguete, they didn't ask me for anything. Coming back, the Army came on the bus and asked everybody for their card, but I had mine, so it was no big deal. You didn't need your S pass or nothing like that. Karen Brasio says, hello, Calvin. What is the best part and not so best part about being in the Philippines? Well, there's so many. Let's start with the worst part is you need patience of a saint here sometimes. I mean, it really, and I'm not used to standing in lines, not like the lines that you stand in over here. And everything is paperwork and red tape. It takes you, how long did it take you, John, to get your driver's license?
Oh, it took me like 3 months. I spent a lot of hours on it. Yes, a lot of hours.
I'm saying that, and then, okay, we're trying to, my American buddy here told me this. He said, he doesn't even go out. He said, because Filipinos have no authority. When he goes in the store, they can't really help him, and it frustrates him. He said, so, Calvin, I just don't go out. He said, I very seldom go out. And I got a little bit of that yesterday. We went to Gasano we're looking for a new dinette set because we sold her friend ours. We need a bigger one. And it was like 10 guys, and John will tell you, around us, but none of them could help us. I'm like, do you have this in stock? They got paperwork. They don't have a computer. They got paperwork going through. No, so we got to sell you this one. And I said, so are you going to give me a discount? No, they're going to sell me the display as new.
Take it or leave it.
Could make the decision. See, so I didn't buy it. And that's the worst thing. There's too many good things about the Philippines to even name. Number one, I'm welcome here. People hear me say that all the time, man, but you don't understand. When you're overseas, you want to be welcome. You don't want to be somewhere where people don't want you around and plotting against you. And, you're absolutely, genuinely welcome in the Philippines. That's the best thing by far. But it's just so many things here. The weather, the cost of living, just so many places that you can go. You can never see it all here in the Philippines. I happen to like the fresh fish here. And just like Robert said when he first came on, the laid-back lifestyle here. It's a slow pace to life over here. And it's just too many things that I could. And of course, I like the young, beautiful women, man. Even though, I'm with somebody, I still like the look. And you get an eyeful every single day over here. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know, if you're with somebody who doesn't want you looking, you probably with the wrong person. Hey, Curtis Eugene Thomas says, what's up, Calvin? I'm here in Columbus, Ohio. Oh, wow, he's there with you, Robert. He said, I work security at the casino here. What's the name of that casino there, Eugene? I love the chance said, my wife is related to everyone in our own hometown, Calvin. Yeah, you got to be careful over here when you do that. Ray B101 said, I thought there were more women than men. Not so per group. No, it's really about a 50-50 over here. But see, what you got to realize, Ray, is a lot of men are overseas. They're overseas Filipino workers. A lot of them are seamen, and which takes them out of the country. Then a lot of them are really out of the dating scene. They've eliminated themselves. They've taken themselves out because, remember, it's like a class system over here. If you're a tricycle driver or a pedicab driver, hell, your choices over here are fairly limited.
Ray B, I'd like to add one more thing. One of the government statistics, if you want to believe them or not, said that up to 15% of the male population in the Philippines are gay too. So that cuts out quite a few right there.
It's a bunch of reasons why you're going to see more women over here than men. And see, women here, well, Filipinos, period, what I see, they hang in packs. They hang in, bunches, like groups. They call them batches over here. So you might see, like when I was riding my bike this morning, I went through Center Mall, and it was 20 women out there doing Zumba. And then when I went around the circle, there's 5 men that are working out together. And you're going to, and women are more out front. The men are in the back, really. Like the guy said about the history. You see the women shopping. I mean, there's clearly defined roles here. A man is not going to, the only time you're going to see a man at the grocery store shopping is if he's single or if he's with his wife. Other times, it's the woman who goes to the market and to the store. Yeah, Brian Nichols whipped into submission. That's their number one. That's their number one weapon. It's really, to a lot of women, it's the only weapon they have. If they don't whip you into submission, they really have no chance of getting a visa or a better life or anything like that. The Holy Trilogy, I like to call it. George Manning said lots of black and Japanese and white and Japanese. Yeah. But it's kind of strange, Robert, that you don't know any Japanese. You know how to say something, don't you?
Nah, but my father could speak it. My father could speak it. Now, over the years, I'm sure he's lost some of it, but he can still speak Japanese to this day.
So did your mother move over to America or she stayed?
She stayed. My father raised me.
Your father raised. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. That's what I kind of knew. Naughty Bike Rider said, you're doing right. Robert was your father. He said, Robert, was your father stationed at Scott Air Force Base? Robert?
Who, Robert Dane?
No, you, Robert.
No. That's Scott.
Okay.
No.
He said, Filipinos never shoot in the torso but the head. Checks the statistics. Yeah, they do. But this particular guy was beat to death. And they must have been drinking together. They must have been friends for him to be that close, to beat him like that. What do you think, Don?
I almost wonder if he was worth more dead than alive. I mean, never know.
I'm just trying to figure out why his girlfriend was persuaded the doctors to release him. And then by the time he gets home, he's vomiting blood. He's unconscious. She turns around, takes him back, and he dies. But I'm almost sure they knew that guy, and they were,
I think so too.
In close proximity to him because Filipinos just don't go around beating you over the head with brass knuckles. And that's really an up close and personal attack. It's like that's why most people shoot you. They can't, it's too personal to come up and stab you or beat you to death. Who do you know that can sit there and beat somebody to death with blood spurting everywhere and getting on your clothes and everything? And so it's easy to just come by and shoot you a couple of times in the head and keep riding. William Fouché says one positive of online dating is desensitizing yourself to just how many beautiful women there are in the Philippines. That doesn't work though, because they look better in person, and I don't see any good that comes out of online dating anymore, because I'm not naive as I used to be. Because, I've got a guy who messaged me, and listen to this. This is more like this, a Filipina in the hand beat two in the bush type of thing. He's married to a Filipina, been married for 10 years, but now he's getting, he's got that, I guess, the 7-year itch. He's online. He done fell in love with a 21-year-old over here. So now he's online with her probably all night, and he's there with his Filipino wife. And I guess in his mind, she doesn't know. I guarantee you his wife knows. Orchid King said, Calvin, you're for sure right. It's all about the brotherhood. In numbers, we're strong. Yeah, we don't need to be fighting over here. That's why I can't get it. Nah. I've never been attacked by a Filipino. Well, only that Apple lady, but she was really nothing. She didn't, she was more comical than anything. Most of the people that attack me over here verbally and my character and all that, they're foreigners. And I'm like, why do you want to play the police over here? We should be together. Because they're together, remember that sense of security? Sense of community over here. If you fight one Filipino, you got to fight them all. The young man in Dumaguete found that out the hard way. He lost his life. The 33-year-old guy. He must have been living just an unbelievable life here. 33 years young, American, teaching at Silliman University in Dumaguete, makes the bad decision to get drunk with the locals at the bar. They call him outside, and they beat him to death. But yeah, man, we need to stick together. The Beach of Life says that Frank Tate, check your email. No, he never sent me his email. For me to send him the link, I can send him the link right now. Frank, I gave him my email. Here's my email for you and your wife. Because I went on your wife's channel. I went ahead and subscribed to her channel, and I left a message. I said, I would love for y'all to join me on the panel, but Frank never sent me the email. Well, I gave it to you again, Frank, but yeah, I always put it up there. It's calroach1@gmail.com. Sean Hawkins says, if people ask, where are you in the Philippines? Guess I have to say in denial. But believe it or not, there's a place called Denial over here. It's in Cebu. Yeah. Thanks, Beach of Life. He said, Frank, I sent you the link to the panel. Thank you. Michael's, man, he's really a moderator, man. This guy does all kind of stuff. But, he's in the tech field. He can do that. He says low crawling to the toilet. What's up, Hollywood, baby? He's on here showing some love to the best YouTuber I have come across. Keep up the great work, my friend. Hit the thumbs up button, fellas. That's what he said. Now, he's a true hero, a fireman down in Atlanta. You putting out a lot of fires, man? I hope not around Christmas. One guy messaged me. He said, Calvin, I haven't been able to follow you lately. He said, because we we had a fire and lost everything. I think he lives somewhere out in California, if I'm not mistaken. William Fouché says, I read somewhere that the Philippines accept flu vaccine card and the CDC vaccine card wasn't in the list, so it's worth checking into. Once they open it up, they're going to accept, as long as it's legit. So, Rudy, your son is considered, your son is basically 100% Filipino then, right?
Correct.
But he's a U.S. citizen.
Correct, because he was born here.
Yeah,
but
he was born
so
there.
what happened is that also my ex-wife, who was a Filipino citizen at the time, accepted him, and we went to the consulate here on Guam. There's a Philippine consulate, and we made him become a dual citizen. So he's a dual citizen. He has a Filipino passport, and he also has a U.S. passport.
Yeah, that's how both my sons are like that. I had to
By
take
the way,
all that.
yeah, we just got his renewal passport as of Monday. It took us a month to get it.
Hey, and I want to tip my hat to you, Rudy, because guys like you don't get a lot of credit. He's raising his son by himself, just like Robert, like your father raised you.
Yeah.
But your father probably had a girlfriend or something. Rudy's actually by himself. He don't have a girlfriend.
Rudy refused to go downtown.
Yeah. Rudy refused to go downtown. He's really a single father.
Yeah. Hey, congrats. Yeah,
I want to go. I want to go to the Philippines to rejuvenate myself.
No more recruiting, Rudy. No more recruiting.
I hope you don't dry up and blow away by the time you get over here, Rudy. Hey, Mitchell player. Thanks. Welcome, brother. Naughty Bike Rider says, mostly one race of people in the Philippines. Imagine the world on one land. Too many civil unrest. Well, no, not really. The Philippines is very diverse.
Very diverse.
People always ask me, where's the nice looking Filipinos and this and that? They're all over. And that's really the basic myth that I always try to dispel. There's not one Philippines. If you even look it up, this United Philippines only came about when the Spanish came here. They united to fight against the Spanish. But prior to that, all of these different islands were their own little kingdom, so to speak. And it's really like that today. I mean, you come here, it's going to shock you. There's Filipinos that are darker than me. Black Filipinos. Then you've got white Filipinos, who've got that Spanish blood. It's just a smorgasbord of people here. Same with the weather. All the Philippines doesn't get typhoons and earthquakes and volcanoes. Robert says, what do you like most about the PI? But he's never been here. How long you been there?
Only when I was a baby, and I'm not sure how long that was. I mean, we lived here for a while because I remember my father was telling me we lived there. He had housekeepers, and and I don't know, he might have a couple kids over here. I don't know. He keeps bragging that he has 19 kids, but I only know 7 of them. So, wow. And I'm 48. So
yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. He was a Rolling Stone.
Yeah. Papa was Rolling Stone. But my goal is my plan, not my goal. This is my plan is to move to the Philippines. But I do want to travel there. I do want to explore. But right now I'm living through your eyes, Cav. I'm living through your videos, your vlogs, your boots on the ground. John, Rudy's been there a little bit, and also the other vloggers that are there in the Philippines. But that's the only way I'm gonna really realize, okay, is this where I want to be at?
Let me ask somebody on here. How many children are we supposed to have? Because when you hear something like 19, people cringe. And what are you supposed to have? What is the amount that a man's supposed to have? I think, as long as you can take care of your children, what's the limit? There was a man over here who recently died, who had 81 children. And then, 81. He was filthy rich, though. There was a man over here, 39 children. All these men are wealthy, though. They can take care of their children, but you're not going to have 81 children. He had 81 children by 19 women over here. This guy, but hell, he owned majority of Cavite. He bought Cavite way back when it's almost like a vast land. And, he was also a movie star, Bone Revelia Sr. He had 81 children with 19 women over here. What's the limit? What are you supposed to do? Let you jump off with 2.6 kids or something? I don't know. My father had 13 that I know of altogether. James White says, hey, Calvin, the only people I've ever had problems with are Americans, because Americans are what they call foreigners. That's about all you're going to have problems with over here. We got a problem with being a problem. Hey, Roger and Esmeralda, if y'all want to come to the Christmas dinner, the Christmas party, you're welcome. And I'm going to have it December 24th. It's going to be on a Friday because Christmas is on a Saturday. I want it to be as close to Christmas as possible. Let's see.
Yes, Gil. Every small town has at least one furniture maker in it.
Yeah, it's heavy too. That handmade furniture is heavy.
You've got some, don't you, Calvin?
Yeah, the only handmade furniture over it is not heavy. I'm talking about super heavy, where you probably really need a forklift to pick it up. Is this bamboo furniture that they make? My first living room set over here was bamboo. We gave it to her brother. But let's ask you that question, John. What's the best thing about the Philippines that you like?
Well, I'll tell you what, I would recommend going back and watching some of your and my earlier vlogs. I could go on an hour telling you how great all the good things here, but I could go on for a half hour about saying all the bad things here. Because it's like this. I think the good definitely outweighs the bad.
Just name one thing off the top of your head that you really like about here.
Oh, the women. That's what I came here for. I'll be honest.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Things I don't like. The dealing with any of the government agencies here is horrible. It's horrible. The heat. It's very hot here. So like I say, there's good and bad.
Yeah, there's a lot of good and bad. See, I don't have a problem with the heat. I never did, because I love the hot weather. When I was little, man, see, we were poor by American standards, and some days I wore socks on my hands for gloves. And I just remember, I guess I was around 10. I made it up in my mind then. I didn't even know a place existed where it was warm all year round. But I said, I want to live somewhere where it never gets cold, because we used to freeze by the time we got to school. That's a fact. So yeah, I don't have a problem with the weather, because I can get cool. It's hard for me to get hot, man. When it's cold over there, man, it's just hard. I can't put on enough clothes.
My biggest problem is when it gets hot, I can only take off so many clothes and people start laughing and pointing.
Yeah. It
covering
gets so
their
hot.
eyes.
I don't really care if you're naked, you're still going to be hot, right? But when it's cold, it's a different story. That cold gets all the way down in your bones, man. I can't deal with that. As I got older, it really started having an effect on me. Brad Jones says online dating is like shooting dead fish in a sink. Well, that's because they make it appear to be easy, Brad. They purposely get in the way so you can catch them. They slow down so you can catch them. Because we're slow, really. Filipinos fast, but she slows down, let us catch her. And be careful what you wish for, man, because what you ask for, because you're going to get it over here. Hey, James Marshall Hendricks says there was a guy, Big Kevin, who lived in the Philippines over 10 years. His brother-in-law attacked him from behind with a bolo knife. Yeah, like I said, that's an up close and personal attack. You usually know somebody like that attacks you like that. But bolo, we don't talk enough about bolo. Yeah, guys, throw some questions at John and Rudy. Rudy, are you trying to save your hair? What's going on at the top of your head?
I can't talk. I'm getting there.
What are you doing? What's going on with the top of your head, Rudy? Are you trying to save your hair?
No, the admin came in and asked me a question regarding the Wi-Fi.
Oh,
No, I said,
Yeah, to
what's
work.
going on with the top of your head with your hair? Are you trying to hold on
like
to
this?
your hair? Because the sides you look like Bozo over there.
It's turning
Go ahead and
white
cut it
already. I
out,
got too
man.
much stress.
Yeah. But one thing I noticed, man, about Filipinos, they love their hair, man. They
Oh
love
yeah.
their hair. They're almost like Americans over there. They love their hair. I had a supervisor when I worked at Brown and Williamson Tobacco Corporation. I promise you, man, he had one strand over here, and he would wrap it around his head all the way to here. But if he had to bend over, and it would come out like a slinky. That's what it looked like. And I think, and that's what. But see, Filipinos, they won't do that. But they'll be bald here and have hair here. They won't cut it off. How did you meet your girlfriend, Rudy?
Oh, one of the websites.
Which
I
one?
forgot what it was.
online.
I think it
Oh,
was. I think
one?
it was either Christian Filipina or Pina Love. One of those.
Well,
Because,
just go on your bank statement. It'll show you which one.
I can't
Take a
remember
look at
anymore.
your bank statement. Because you're saying that,
No,
you know
I
which
sent
one it is.
I sent everything through BTC. Remember?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well,
Yeah. I sent everything to BTC. So everything that I make from mining, I send to her. If what she
yeah.
goes when she needs something. So I don't spend my own money, right? Whatever I make here, I keep it here. But everything that I make on BTC, I send it because remember what I told you that the Philippines is very advanced. So they have a little app called coins.ph. So the coins.ph, what you do is that once you send the BTC over, you just convert it to peso, which is the peso coin that they use. And then once you do that, you can change it to Gcash or any other cash that you use to pay your bills, to pay your utilities, to pay your loans, to pay your bank, anything.
So
So that's
how
what I
long
do.
have you been dating her?
About
Rudy?
almost a year already. 6
Okay.
months. I think, yeah, about a year.
Now,
This December.
Rudy's the exception because he told me, now this was out of his mouth.
Yeah.
John. Now listen to this. He said that his girlfriend earns 15,000 pesos a day.
Yes, she does.
She must be
$300 a
blowing-
day?
Yeah.
She must be blowing some
does.
good balls over there, Rudy.
No.
How many- Hey, Rudy, how many guys are sending their money from the U.S.?
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
What did
But I
she
asked
do,
him,
Rudy?
what did she do to earn that kind of money?
What she calls it, of course, and when she doesn't work, then of course she's not gonna get paid. So what it is that she actually took a vacation to see her parents in Camagüey. So she was there for like 5 days and so forth. And when she came back, her internet was not working, and then of course she had to change over from PLDT to Globe. So that took up a little bit more. So by the end of the month, when she was gone and so forth like that, she didn't get paid that much. So I had to cover for some of her stuff. So I sent her at least 10,000 worth of BTC so that she can cover
10,000
whatever.
pesos. 10,000
Yeah.
pesos.
Yeah. In BTC.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
Bitcoin. Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you think for somebody that's watching who wants
Yeah.
to date online, what's a
Yeah.
responsible amount? Well, I shouldn't ask you this because obviously you're not being responsible, but what's a responsible amount to send a young lady? Because you go over the top with everything, Rudy.
Well, no. See, I don't think of it. For me, I don't think of me mining the coin, the Bitcoin, as giving her money, because I mean, I make that mining it all stuff. But if I was gonna give money wise, right, I would give only probably 1,000 to 2,000 pesos, which is about 20 to 40 bucks. That's it.
What?
Because, but
For
if
money?
A day, a month?
no. If whatever they need for specifically a because 1,000 to 2,000 pesos can actually go up for I mean,
Yeah,
2 weeks and so forth, because it's a lot.
yeah,
My
yeah,
cousins, in Bacoor, Cavite, I would send them if they need something. I just send them 3,000, and they'll last for the entire month for 3,000.
yeah. And I'm glad you're saying that, Rudy, because when I tell guys that, they don't believe it, because
No, they can't. You can.
we're bringing our American thinking into the situation.
Mhm.
We're thinking we start calculating it in our mind. Well, that's only $60. Yeah, that's a lot over here. Um, but you keep saying you're not sending money over here.
But he
That's
is.
money, Rudy. That
To,
BTT is money. Okay, don't
no,
sugarcoat
I
it
know.
now.
Well, to me, what I earn what I earn in BTC is different from what I earn in my job, because my job is what I use as a what you call this, what I pay my bills for and everything else. So that's specific for what I do. But then BTC, I earn it because I mine and so forth. So I can do with that freely what I want. And to me, it's not really what you call this. Even though you say it's money, to me, I can use it what I want with for. And if I want to spend it on her the way I do, it doesn't affect my my earning capacity, or
Right.
my earning
Right.
capacity on my side.
But she gets the money though.
Yeah, she gets it.
Yeah.
Well,
So how much?
if she needs
Okay. How much would you say a month
a
that you
month,
send it?
probably what you call this, I send her about uh 10,000.
200 bucks.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
about 200. Yeah, that's
But
good. Pretty
but
good.
that's but I send that through BTC, like I said, when she needs it
Yeah.
to pay certain, then I send it. But I don't send the whole thing. I send her like 1,000 here or 2,000 there, right? And whatever she needs it for, if she's short and that kind of. But usually
Yeah.
she will never ask me for anything, because her job, when she's working full on, she doesn't need me for anything.
Now this guy says I went on your wife's channel. No, she doesn't have a channel. I'm sorry. This is just some clown that I'm gonna have to look this up and see who this is. No, that's not.
Uh,
TB63 says for some reason my longer comments are not posted. So you have to see YouTube about that.
oh, well, I think I can answer that one, Calvin. TB63, your question and everything can only be 200 spaces. I've ran into that problem also. And when I say 200 spaces, that's letters, spaces, periods, commas, everything.
Well, Brad Jones, my wife doesn't have a channel. Cal Roach 21. I don't know what that is, what you're doing, to be honest with you. Well, in 2016, I actually voted for Trump, but it was really just what do they call it? When I didn't want either one of them really, but I certainly didn't want Hillary Clinton to get in there. And to be honest with you, I had no. It was like throwing up my vote away, because I didn't think Trump would ever win. I didn't think he'd have any. That's why I voted for him. I didn't vote for him because I thought he was going to win. I voted for him because I knew he was going to lose. Raise your hand if you really thought Trump had a serious chance of winning. You lying. You're saying it now. But yeah, that's really, I was like, it was like I don't know what they call it when you throw your vote away like that, but that's what I was doing. A protest vote really is what it was. Christopher Wolfgang said 2.5 children. Okay. Brad Jones said 7 children. I've got 7 now, but I'm gonna tell you something. Be careful over here, man. Women here get pregnant so quick. To be honest
They're
with you.
fertile. Huh?
Yeah, they're very fertile because they don't use I'm talking about the masses. Don't use birth control. Men don't wear rubbers. And it really, I'm gonna tell you, man, really, you're walking a thin line, man, when you get over here. And unless you're gonna go the route where you you get yourself fixed. Now, how long does that procedure take you, John, to get fixed?
I had a hernia, so I had it both done at the same time, so I really don't know.
Yeah,
I was asleep.
It don't take long.
No, I mean, so you went in the hospital one day and got out the same day or next day?
Yeah. It's an outpatient procedure. A vasectomy, that's an outpatient procedure. Yeah, it's real quick. Yep.
Yeah.
He was probably uncomfortable for a few days or a little longer, right, John?
Mine was, but see, I also had a hernia operation at the same time, so I don't know where I was getting the pain from, but I had pain.
Well, you was getting it from both ways. Yeah,
that's what I figured.
Again, I'm not a doctor, but I used to scrub cases, which means I was in the operating room handing off instruments, so we had to know some about the case, about the procedure. So, yeah, vasectomies it's real quick.
Jacob Tanjay says at the Sunshine Crew, that's a real player. Yeah. Well, if you're wealthy, that's probably anywhere though. You know how it is when you got wealth like that. You're probably going to have more. Yeah. I mean, you can look it up if you think I'm joking. It's either 81 or 73, and he was taking care of all of them. The guy was, he was a billionaire over here. I mean, in pesos. I don't know how much he was really worth, but yeah, he was. He had a lot of women. And that's usually the case really worldwide. But remember, when foreigners come over here, they're considered rich, man. I'm just telling you, when you're comparing them to the locals. And so you could really have, I mean, I wouldn't do it. I had 2 families before, but I wouldn't suggest you do it. You could have 3 or 4 or 5. Like this guy recently is in the news over here with 8 Filipino mothers by a foreigner guy, I could see how easy that could happen,
Malcolm Magnificent just asked a question: can a vasectomy fail? Yes, they can. After you have a vasectomy, they want you to masturbate into a test tube and they check your sperm count.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Dave Koo says, I'm American, been waiting in Thailand for the last 5 months for the PI to open. My home and girlfriend is in Palawan. It was looking good in November, now back to a holding pattern. I'll wait. Yeah. The Philippines was actually contemplating, it was in the paper today, going to alert 1, meaning just full open. But this Omicron has kept them at alert 2, which is basically full open, to be honest. They would be open, remember, had it not been for the Omicron. Yeah, Gil Bellamy says, if you like hot weather, you're in the right place. Yeah, I love hot weather. Kenny Ray said, Cal here in Minneapolis, the high was 8. Wow. Right now it's 5. Yeah, I don't forget. I mean, I don't miss that type of weather, man. Honestly, I don't. Timothy House said, what's up, Cal, and the panel? The thing I love most about the Philippines is that the weather is short-term or long-term. Whether is short-term or long-term, the P9 gives you 100%.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give it, especially when you get the right one, man, which most of the time you will. But you can get unlucky over here. Have you ever been unlucky, John?
Not really. I mean, yes and no. I mean, I've had 6 prior girlfriends that didn't work out, but I mean, even then I felt I was lucky. I mean, so I have to say no. I've never been unlucky.
The Beach of Life says, did you know there are more English speakers in the Philippines than England? I would believe that, but you got to understand, man, it's a different English now. It's a basic English. All you have to do is go on my Sunshine Shoulders Facebook page, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm misinterpreted, daily. if I say something as simple as this, and don't get me wrong, for them to understand me just a little bit, I don't understand them at all. They're way ahead of me. But I'm making a point from what you're saying. If I say something like, okay, I'll be at Jollibee today at 12 o'clock. If you see me and say, sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy, I'll buy you lunch. Well, everybody puts that in the comment. They don't understand what I'm saying. If you see me at Jollibee and say, sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy, they'll put in the comments, they got a baseline English. They don't understand the sarcasm, the jokes, a lot of the jokes, and
the slang they don't know.
Yeah,
Right.
the slang they don't know at all. So yeah, they speak better English than me for sure.
Hey, Calvin. You know what? What you call this? I was talking to my fiance last night, and she made a good point to me. She said to me that because of my mature age, you might say, I have a story for every one of my experiences. So she tells me that I sound like Charo Santos at MMK because I have a story for everything that
Yeah.
we experience or so forth. Because I told her, sweetheart, you don't know how many stories I have, because for everything that has happened to me, I have a story for it. For everything that you went through, I can tell you what not to go through because I've been through it before.
But she doesn't want a grandfather, Rudy.
I
You
know,
gotta
but
buy you 2 or 3 muscle shirts before you get over here.
oh,
Nah.
I have a lot of those Under Armour shirts.
Yeah, wear them, man. Don't come over here being the girl's Lolo. She wants a.
That's what I've done. Worked out fine for me.
But yeah, Rudy, you gotten a lot better because hell, I used to just ask you something simple and you go on for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I didn't want to tell you to shut up.
Oh, I had to learn my lesson because of the fact that my fiance is telling me the same thing. You gotta stop doing that. I go, okay.
Even Buck told you to shut up.
Yeah, he told me that too.
I keep
He
trying
said-
to post questions, but they're not posting. And anyone have an idea what I might be doing wrong? John said you might be putting too many, because you obviously I'm getting these right here.
Yeah, you're only allowed 200 characters.
Yeah.
Philip Rogers says, Rudy, why don't you quit your job now, sell your house, and move to the Philippines? How much more money can you make in a year that's going to keep you from moving? Now, let me ask you, Rudy, could you come here right now?
No, not yet. Not yet. Because my
Even
son.
though so you don't have a Filipino passport or anything.
No, I don't. That's the problem.
What? Yeah, why didn't you get one?
Because when I went, way back when I was given that option to do it, and my mom was still alive at that time, I was planning on getting a house in Cavite, and then what happened is when I came back to Guam, mom fell ill and everything else. So my plan to do that and go back to the Philippines, because the lawyer had told me that what I had to do to get my citizenship was that I had to go to him, file the paperwork. We'll get all the necessary documents to file the paperwork, which is going to cost 25,000 pesos. And then once the filing is done, I will come back after 3 months from the court, pay the judge 25,000 pesos, and then swear in. And well, it didn't go through.
Yeah. So in other words, you could have just said, when my mother died, I didn't go through with it. But of course, you had to write it in the book, like you always do.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say anything.
But you're 100. But the point I'm trying to make, Rudy, you're 100% Filipino.
Correct.
But you're a U.S. citizen.
Yes, because I was born here.
Yeah. Oh, I'd be trying to get in here some kind of way.
Here's the thing, Calvin. You have to understand that I was born in 1964. The new Constitution of the Philippines is 1972. So anything.
Oh, okay.
So I still fall under the old constitution, which states that only a senior male member of the family can claim me as a Filipino citizen.
Oh, okay, yeah. Now here's
Wow.
the Black Diamond. Now I've answered this question before. He says, "How do you own a house without being married? Has the laws changed, Calvin?" No, a foreigner can own property here. You can't own land. You can under certain circumstances, but you can own property here. You know, you can own a condominium. You can own a house, just not the land that it sits on, whether you're married or not. But you cannot own the land. I mean, that's when it gets tricky. He said, "Nice shirt, John. It just looks nice on camera. It looks nice on camera." No, that's the one that was in that Valley Bandbox.
No, this is one I brought from U.S. One of the few I got left.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's the
But the one that got sent over here, it's great too. I saw Tom Kelsey on here. We haven't forgot about you, Tom. Oh, Kyle Devon's back. Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, Kev, I have a question for you, and maybe John as well, and any of your viewers. So, with me being single, I'm coming to the Philippines. I'm planning to move there. What's the whole deal about, purchasing a condo? Because I can as a foreigner versus, of course, I can't own land. I can buy a house and lease the land or something like that. But me being single, I heard different opinions. The condos, they're too expensive, this and that. But from our point of view, as American point of view, or Westerner, they're pretty cheap, And with me being single, I was thinking about purchasing a condo because when I come, I don't have to worry about getting an Airbnb or rent someplace. I already have a place there. And the second part of that question is because I'm purchasing that condo and I know I'm not going to be there for so many months, working with a brokerage firm to hey, rent it out as an Airbnb, I might make something off of it, but at least, it's being put to use. What do you think?
Yeah, a lot of Filipinos abroad do just that. They'll buy a condominium here and they'll lease it out to the Airbnb, or they'll rent it out and let the income buy the condominium.
Right.
See, over here, you can, when they say rent to own, it's literally rent to own over here. You pay a certain amount every month for 10 years and you own it. There's no interest. See, that's what I was going to do at first. I mean, we were all ready to do everything, when she went back to America. See, I was going to buy a condominium in Moncton, rent to own. It was like $700 a month. But it was 10 years, no interest.
Nice.
Robert, I'll give you. Robert, I'll give you my opinion. Just rent. Rents are dirt cheap here. You get into a situation like Calvin where he has a child and you want to get a house for a child. I agree with that totally. But I would just rent, especially your first few years here. You may not even want to live where you originally land. I mean, rents are dirt cheap. I'm paying $180 a month for a house.
Right.
Yeah,
I can pick up and leave tomorrow if I want to.
And that's what I was going to say. You might as well rent, really. But now remember, one of the reasons why I bought over here, not because of Booby, but it was so cheap. And then I lost the house to foreclosure.
Yeah,
but Calvin,
I've been there.
You could use it as an investment. But yeah, I would rent. I would rent if I was single and didn't have kids or any obligation.
But Calvin, you got to know your wife for a couple of years before you went ahead and got a house too. I mean,
I was here a long time before I ever built a house. He's right about that. You want to find out, do you even like the Philippines? But
or the island you're on.
Black G Rich said, Black Diamond, you can't. You can own a house over here. You can own property. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's old news right there. I mean, that's not even something to.
But let me say one thing while we're on this. I have talked to a lot of foreigners in the last 3 years, and a lot of guys have ended up with nothing. They had prenups. They had all these, schemes they used. I've only met one that him and his Philippine broke up that he actually got to keep his stuff. So, I mean, I'd be careful.
Hey,
Yeah, but I mean,
Calvin.
but you can buy a condominium and put it in your name.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
you can.
She won't be nowhere near it.
Can,
Foreigners
can,
can own condominiums
I
here.
would be
They
leery
can
of that,
talk
but that's
here.
me.
can I make a point about to Robert regarding buying a condominium? Robert, most of the condominiums that I know about, I stayed a lot in a lot of them over there at the MOA area, right? They're quite small. Those have been made by SM Corporation. But if you go to the one in McKinley Hills, the build those people build house by, I think those are Ayala properties or so forth, just like Venice properties. They have bigger rooms. The size of their bathrooms and their living room and dining room areas are the size of what you get in American size or even UK size, because the
The
people that
last
stay there,
condominium, the last
the
condominium that I rented,
yeah,
Airbnb over here in Cebu, they wanted 2.5 million for it.
mm.
It was 20 square meters. They're tiny, man.
No,
And you
but
got a full house for 1 million, and it's beautiful. So I mean, right there tells you a little
no,
Yeah,
bit.
but
that's what I'm saying.
Calvin, what do you know? What the in Cebu when you rented those Airbnb, the condos? Do you know who made them?
Well, the name of it was Horizon 101, so I guess they got a Horizon 102, but yeah,
Well, if they
they're expensive.
depend depending on who made them, like it's either Ayala Corporation or even SM Corporation or so forth like that, right? Those that will depend on if you know the corporation who built them, you'll know what the size and they made them for, because usually SM makes it for the Filipino, right? While Ayala makes it for the foreigner, and
That's
the
a great point. Yeah, yeah.
and
I
what
didn't know
and
that.
yeah, and Ayala makes it so that when you go into that room made for the foreigner, has the size of a foreigner. Because as you know, when you go to the bathroom at SM, it's so small, isn't it? When you go to a
Yeah,
bathroom,
yeah, it's all
but
it's all
but if
small.
you go to Ayala bathroom, you can really see the difference, because you can stretch your arms like this and not even touch the wall. While on an SM bathroom, you can do this and touch the wall.
Hey, thanks.
See?
Yeah, that's good information, Rudy. Uh, I never recognized that, paid that any attention. So this one must have been now. This condominium is beautiful, though. It has everything,
Yes.
all the amenities, but it's very small, 20 square meters. King Arthur, thanks for that super chat. He said, "Dress like Buck, Rudy." Uh, one Manila's finest says, uh, "How much did you pay for the dating site, Rudy?"
I paid like what you call $25 for a month.
Yeah, how many months did you stay on it?
Only 1 month. That's how I found her.
How do you know she? Yeah, they say that. You got my phone. Booby's got my phone. But anyway, how do you know that this is the one, Rudy?
Well,
Tell us how you know.
how I know this is the one is because of the fact in the beginning of our conversation and everything else, she never asked me for anything.
Well, you know how many times I got to tell you she's not going to ask you.
No, Calvin, you don't understand. Even though if I tell her, hey, look, I'm gonna, I know you're in need. How about if I say, you goes, no, no, no. She's never until when she really needed it, right? Then she asked me when she had no option.
Rudy, that's called the long game.
Oh yeah, I heard.
It's
Oh, I
called
knew
the
you,
unspoken
you were gonna say
agreement.
that sooner or later, John.
Yeah.
Heard that
Well,
before.
Maximus said the same thing.
Okay, Jay says, it's this question for Rudy. Are you still dating men?
Jay's a joker. I love him.
Oh, you mean lady boys?
Well, he didn't say no, so you look at him. He just laughing
Oh
and
my
cheesing.
God.
Look at you.
Oh, I swear.
Yeah,
Is she
so
a lady
yeah.
boy? Is your girlfriend a lady boy, Rudy? Or is it
No.
a real woman?
It's
How
a
do
real
you
lady.
know?
I,
How
think-
do you know?
I don't think so, because what you call this? I've seen her naked.
You say you don't think
Oh,
so?
okay.
Oh.
So you're paying for a peep show, huh, Rudy? You dirty dog.
Hey, I had to see, right? Uh, uh, just to be
Yeah.
sure.
He says, why did you send BTC, Rudy? He said, most women don't know BTC, so you might be sending money to a he, she.
No. Well, I talk to her mostly every day.
But you taught her about BTC, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah. I told her, get the coins.ph app and then I'll send you BTC. And she goes, oh, what does it do? You can convert it to peso, and then after that you can do whatever you want with it. And when she started exploring the app, oh yeah, she knew that she could pay her bills and so forth like that. And so it goes, wow, this is a pretty good app. I go, yeah, I told you. It can do anything and everything in the Philippines.
G Rich, again, a foreigner can own property here, okay? We're not even gonna go into that anymore. We can't own land, that's tricky. But you can own property, and it can be in your name, okay?
Yes, it can.
I'm boots on the ground over here. That's old news, man. I mean, have you ever been here before? Have you ever talked to them? I know people who personally own condominiums over here. Rock TV, tell him that you can own a condominium. He owns a nice condominium in Makati. I mean, you're giving out fake information, man. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't have to be, you can be single. You don't have to deal with no Filipinos and own the condominium. He's got
right. I did my research on that one. I know I can own a condominium. Yeah.
Okay, Calvin, let me tell you this. There are ways you can own. Okay, as for me, because I'm a U.S. citizen, I can't own land. But there's a way that I can get land and hold it. It's because of my father. My father owned land in the Philippines, right? And when he passed away, it was, guess what? I inherited the land, but I can't sell it. But I own it.
Yeah. That's right. That's one way a foreigner can own land.
Well, what about Rudy? You could buy it probably in your son's name. He's dual citizen.
The problem is he's young. He's 15 years old. Everybody will dominate him. That's what
hopefully you dominate him.
No, people can get on his case regarding the land, and then they can swindle it from him because of his age. See, because why, John? Let me tell you this. Why? Because he's Filipino, and I'm a foreigner, so I have no say so in the matter. If I give it to him, everybody will go to him.
That's a good point.
Yeah. See? Yeah. I love the John said it surprised me. He's talking about Trump. And I think it's surprising. Y'all know good and well. Okay, you know how we're not really going to get into politics, but this is general. You know how when the election cycle starts and they're having all of these debates and you see all these candidates lined up on the stage and you saw the orange man Trump up there with all the rest of the politicians in the beginning. You did not know he was going to win. He was a joke like everybody else. But now, of course, everybody comes out just like they did. Oh, I knew Michael Jordan was going to be a superstar and bigger than sports and have a best-selling shoe.
Well, I don't
now that it's official.
It's okay to drink Coke.
No, you didn't know he was going to win. Yeah, when it's okay, you got a 50-50.
Okay. Give me a fork and bring it.
You got Trump
Please.
Versus Hillary. I mean, that's not too far of a jump right there. Once he got that far, I still didn't believe he was going to win, but that's not, that's not a stretch. Now you're 50-50. He said, damn, Calvin, I voted for Trump for the same reason. Yeah, I threw my vote away. It's a protest vote. It's my vote.
The last two elections have been protest votes. You're voting against somebody else.
It's always that way.
I think it's been worse the last two, though.
In America, it's always been about politics. I mean, popularity and personality. We don't know. Somebody like me, I don't know somebody's agenda, and it doesn't reach that far down to me, really.
I mean, look at it.
I still got to put my pants on, my big boy pants on, and go out there and earn a living. I don't give a damn who's the president.
But look at the last 2 election cycles. We had Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, and Joe Biden. Those are the best America has to offer. I mean,
Yeah,
I mean,
the last two. Yeah, the last two. Yeah, the last two. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I always say that. You know.
Calvin, can I address Maximus when he's telling me?
Oh wait. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. What? Read it. Read it.
He's saying, Rudy, why don't you get your dual citizenship? And then says, Rudy, your father and mother were both Filipino citizens at one time, so you can get your dual citizenship. No, I can't, because I was born in 64, which is the old constitution. I have to petition. It doesn't matter if my mother and my father are both Filipinos because they're both dead.
wow. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Hey,
if you were
it's
born
Hillary
after
Clinton.
72, then you can get it. Anybody can claim you.
Wow.
Yeah. But when you come here, you're gonna stay, right, Rudy?
What you call this? I can't. I have to stay. I mean, I'm only there for my vacation. But the next time I retire, then believe me, I'm staying. I even told my fiance, look, sweetheart, I'm staying for good.
Yeah.
I'm as soon as I give my house and my turn over the house and everything else to my son and everything else, I'm coming here. I'm going to the Philippines. That's it. I'm staying.
You don't live
There's
that
no
far away anyway, Rudy. I would.
Yeah,
if
3
I
hours.
was in Guam, and it's cheap. As, this is pre-pandemic. It was
Yes.
cheap to fly from
Oh,
the
yes.
Philippines to Guam. Round trip. I'd
400.
just be here every damn weekend, really.
400. $400. Calvin, $400, man. That's all you need, man.
Yeah.
Round trip
Thomas Johnson
ticket.
said, make sure the doctor knows to cut both tubes. Had to have mine done twice. Wow.
I hope the second time was free.
Can she travel there now? Well, it just depends. Was she born in America like Rudy?
Yeah.
Is she a dual citizen? If you just took her home, if you married her and brought her to America, then she can come back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Calvin, the only thing I did wrong in my marriage was that I did not register my wife in the Philippines to be recognized as a legitimate marriage. Because if I did, then she won't be able to divorce me because it's also registered in the Philippines and she has to get an annulment.
Yeah, see, that's why I did it. That's the reason why we got married in America. I didn't want to put her through all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I know what you said.
If anything went wrong, which it did, she can easily get a divorce. Now, if we'd have got married over here, it'd have been a different thing.
Yes.
Jacob Tunde is leaving. Goodbye, Jacob. Thanks for joining us today.
Yusuf Amar Habib says, if someone doesn't like hot weather, can he still possibly enjoy the Philippines? Absolutely.
Go to the mountains.
It's not hot early in the morning.
And also go to the mountains. It's 10 degrees cooler.
I go swimming. Remember, the sun out all day long. The light says, where do I get my Filipino news? I go to Manila Times, Inquirer.net, Cebu Daily News, Visayan Star, and then boots on the ground. I got my ear on the road. My ear to the ground. Percy Ramsey said, happy to know that my vasectomy worked. It's been 25 years and no kids out of the vasectomy.
I can answer that. One of my ex-girlfriends told me she was pregnant. So I got a home test kit. And checked it, and it came out negative. So you can go to the drugstore and buy a home test kit and get out some porn and figure it out.
Okay.
Iskandari says, Rudy, hit me up. I want to see what type of jobs they have there. See, he's a U.S. contractor. He's a U.S. contractor. I'm pretty sure he could probably get a good. Okay, put your email up here, Iskandari.
And
then
I'll write it up. Yeah.
Roger Blue said, "What's the difference between Cebuanas, Cyan, Mindanao, and girls from Luzon?" Well, it's just their culture. It's
That's
their
right.
traditions. It's their languages. It's all. It's not one Philippines. It's the one Philippines now that we know it. But the big difference is, it's a real big difference.
Calvin, let me address something. What you call this? I know this for a fact that some of the women there in the Philippines, they just like to be told once what to do, and that's it. But us, including me, I because of my job, right? I tend to think 5 years ahead of time. So I want confirmation upon confirmation of things being done, especially if the project is being delayed. So, my fiance doesn't like me repeating myself every single time.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
something. You better, because they can be hard headed too. Remember, they're gonna
Yeah.
move when they want to move. They're on their
Yeah.
own time. They're on
Mhm.
their own time, and that's one of the things with this age gap situation.
Yeah.
She's in the first or second quarter of her life. You in the third or fourth quarter. They
Mhm.
move so slow. I told my girlfriend, "Look, don't waste my time. I don't know how much time I got left.
That's
You
right.
need
That's
to
right.
go and do what I don't ask you to do now,
Yeah.
not when
No.
you give to me.
Yeah.
You're on my time now. You're
Uh,
wasting my time."
No, because I like you said, when I plan here, I plan 5 years ahead to replace equipment that's being retired and so forth like that. So I think 5 years ahead of time every single time. I order equipment that's 5 years ahead of its lifespan.
So, Rudy, you play the long game.
Yeah.
A true Filipino
But
there.
there's still no guarantee, Rudy.
I know. I know. I try to make her match my level of intellect or stuff, but sometimes it's hard because she wants to stay at her pace, and then I have my own pace to worry about.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a problem. That can be a problem that I see a lot, especially with me. I'm like, look, I'm 58. If you want to take all day doing something, you do it on your time. Don't do it
Nice.
online. He says,
Or they want
send this
here.
to women online. Now listen,
Well,
I know
sometimes
y'all hear me
Calvin, they
say
want it
that all
now.
the time.
Sometimes
Y'all
they
hear
really
Always
me say
want
want
it
that
it
all
now.
now.
the time.
Yeah. I'm like, excuse me.
Uh, because I sent money, guys, and I'm telling you, I fell for the same tricks that you
Mm.
guys are falling for. You feeling sorry for them. You thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna put on layaway." You want to be the Superman, this knight in shining armor to save and rescue the damsel in distress.
Uh,
But I wouldn't do it, man. You really, I'm putting the cart before the horse. You're gonna have to spend that money anyhow. There's no reason for you to send it ahead of time. Remember, man, these people are survivors. They were making it without you.
Without
And when
you.
you
Yeah.
send that money, you're dulling that edge, whether you realize it or not. She's never
Let
going to be.
me
She's
let
never
me
going to be the
say,
same.
I sent no money before I came here, but after being here, I may have changed my mind a little bit. If I did send money, it'd just be a little bit, maybe $50 a month.
Well, even when they start dating us, John, they change. We dull
Oh,
the
I
knife.
agree.
We dull that blade, that edge that they need to make it.
Janessa will.
Janessa's never going to be the same.
She already told me she's been spoiled,
Yeah.
Yeah, and
and
that's
I
what
don't
we
mind. I
do.
mean, that's fine.
I mean,
When
yeah,
you're
as long as y'all gonna be together for the rest of your life, you're not gonna
Which
have a
which might
problem.
not be that long.
Yeah, but the problem is if it don't work out, now it's a problem.
Then she
They're
has to
not
go
gonna
find another
want.
foreigner.
Yeah, do you think she's gonna go back to
no,
flipping floors for $80 a
no,
month?
no.
No,
Well,
she's not gonna
only
do it.
until she can find another foreigner.
She's not even gonna do that. I heard her talking about not bragging. a pedicab before. And I was like, huh? She said she wouldn't ride a pedicab. I'm like,
I'll
John's
tell
really
you,
spoiled.
she will admit she will admit she's been spoiled, and that's fine with me.
And all of us, and that's what you run into. So why spoil her before you get here? You're gonna
What?
mess yourself up. You're gonna miss out on a whole lot of the what the guy say today. He said, when you take them out of the Philippines, you leave the part that you love about them in the Philippines. And that's almost the same way. When you start sending money and buttering them up, she's not going to be the Filipina that you're looking for when you get over here, man. She's already going to be westernized. I wouldn't do it, guys. Because, hindsight's always 20/20. I didn't know that at first. Hey, Eric Terry, I wanted you to be on the
Eric.
Now there's no excuse. He's on here now. I sent him the link on his Facebook Messenger.
I'd love to hear from you, Eric.
Yeah, where is he at?
Okay, Sperling Edwards said hello from warm, rainy Connecticut.
Sperling? Is Sperling really your first name? That's an unusual name, is why I ask that.
Michael Schaefer said, I'm just like Rudy. Oh, okay. So you're full Filipino. What, are you full Filipino or are you just weird as hell?
Or Michael, do you like lady boys?
Yeah, you like lady boy.
We're just kidding, Michael. Don't get mad.
Roger Blue said, you ever heard the song, I Wish They All Could Be California Girls? Yeah. They go around U.S. to say what's good about girls from each area. Do I wish they all could be from Cebu, Mindanao, Visayas, etc.? They all have their own uniqueness. Yeah, in all honesty, I'm going to be honest with you. In the areas, if you like a woman who is more voluptuous, I would say go down in Mindanao. Even though they're everywhere, but you're more likely to see a voluptuous woman down there. My ex was 36, 26, 36 when I met her. And she weighed 100 pounds. So,
but how is she now?
When she went to America, she gained 55 pounds.
55 pounds. And how tall was she?
About 5'3". So that's what I'm saying.
Mine was 5'2".
There's a fat lady in every Filipina screaming to get out.
And I tell you what, I agree with that 100%. Get the skinniest Panay you can find.
And they eat all the time, 3 meals a day, and all of that. You're gonna mess yourself up. See, they're not the
skinniest
problem.
you
We're
can
the
find.
problem. We always try to blame it on the Filipino. We're the ones who muddy the water.
Well, Calvin's right. We give them the endless buffet where before they barely had enough to eat.
That's right.
Yeah, he's right about this, Rudy. He says, Rudy, I think you can go to PI now. Your son's a Filipino, right? Balik Bayan.
Yes,
right.
But guess what? But he's going to his mother in San Francisco this Christmas. Not with me. That's what.
But I'm saying, but technically, you can come here with your son.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Okay, because of the COVID variants that's going around, right? I already checked at the consulate and also at the Philippine Airlines. They told me that just because my son is Filipino, they'll let me in. But I will be quarantined for 5 days in Manila. And then if I wanted to go to Davao, I'll be quarantined for 14 more days.
Wow.
Well, I was told that you after the 5 days, you self-monitor.
Yes, but I self-monitor at the hotel. I can't leave.
No. I'm saying after the 5 days.
No, because Calvin, I'm going to Davao. Remember, I'm not going to stay in Manila. If I stayed in Manila, then they'll let me go to my to my,
But
where I'm
remember-
supposed to go.
Yeah, but you got to understand something, Rudy. Remember, it wasn't alert 2 then. How long ago was that?
No, I checked. I checked last night.
Yeah, because see, if I go to Zamboanga right now, I don't have a 14-day quarantine.
Well, Davao is if I fly into Davao, I'm 14-day quarantine. That's what they told me.
That's your vacation then.
Yeah, I know. That's it. So what's the point?
Well, have her. Yeah, but why don't you have her come to Manila? You're so damn smart.
She doesn't want to go. She doesn't want to go to Manila. She wants to
Yeah,
be
right.
there.
Yeah, right.
I'm serious.
Oh,
Have
my
you
God.
met her yet, Rudy? Have you met her yet?
In person,
No,
no. But
never
on
met
the
her
video
yet.
cam, yeah.
Yeah, on the video game. See,
I was
that's
gonna
the
ask that,
thing.
Rudy.
Yeah.
That's
So
the
all
red
during
flag.
this time, have you video chatted her?
Yeah.
Video
Okay.
chat means nothing.
Yeah, but that don't mean nothing, Robert.
Don't
Don't
mean
let that fool you.
Ru-
Okay, listen, to anybody who thinks because she'll get on that cam, she's your girlfriend and she's serious about you. No, a Filipino simply actress came on here and said, guys, that is false. She said, just because a Filipino Skypes you or WhatsApps you means absolutely nothing.
That's right.
It don't, guys. It don't mean nothing. Because some guy said, well, she chats me all day long. I said, well, she ain't got nothing else to do. What is she going to do? She's not working, you know.
And Rudy, you're sending her $200 a month, and you never met her.
Yeah,
I hope it works out.
John,
That's
it's
what I
BTC,
said.
John. It's BTC, John.
It don't matter, Rudy. Rudy, quit using that as an excuse.
Because he's sugarcoating it. He's sugarcoating it.
Yeah.
But I'm glad Rudy's on her because he's honest. One thing
No,
I
to
like
me,
about Rudy, and I can respect about you, is you're honest.
Yeah.
See? And you're going to help a lot of people.
Yes.
There's people that get on here who they're too ashamed. Their ego gets in the way. They know they're sending money. They're doing
I am
exactly
sending money.
what you're doing, Rudy. They're doing more, really. But they'll never tell you.
Hey, Rudy,
Yeah.
if you would like, it'd be my Christian duty to go down and check on her for you to make sure everything's okay.
I don't trust you, John.
Here's what I want you to do, Michael. Put this video up. First come, first serve, Rudy. Because I'm gonna tell you that could affect you.
But Rudy might get here first.
Yeah, because he's so close. But he's making up all kinds of excuses. He's got to go
I'm busy right
now and get his son and all that. By that time, somebody's gonna be deep inside your woman.
And don't get mad, Rudy, like some other guys said. We're just playing.
The Beach of Life, thanks for the super chat. He said, don't worry, guys. Rudy's girlfriend is actually another recruiter. He's going to send her to the Navy. He's going to send her to the Navy.
Right. Or the Army or
the Navy or the Air Force.
You already got
wife-
the Air Force.
My ex-wife is in the Air Force.
Christopher Wolfgang said, what sites do you use to look for condos in Cebu? I don't. All you got to do is walk into the malls. They're right there.
They're all there. They're all there.
You don't have to look anywhere. And it's more than one. You know, you may have a Ayala team over here, SM team, whoever's building over here. You're going to have 3 or 4 in these major malls.
And they're gonna go with you. They're gonna do a a walkthrough with you if you want. They'll bring you over there and drive you. Do you want to go to a ride or something? I'm telling you, they're willing to take you anywhere and everywhere that you want. Free ride and free dinner and free lunch.
He's
That's
right.
what I say.
He's right. Because that's why they came up with this rent to own with no interest. See, they've created this condo glut over here now. It's just so many condominiums in Cebu and Manila, and a lot of them, especially now with the pandemic, they're empty. It's like when I took my kids down to Destin, Florida. This was in 2000, I want to say 2007 or 2008. Remember right around the time of the housing crisis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just condominiums everywhere, and they were empty. And that's how it is here. So you could probably get a good deal. But I would rent, man. I would rent.
Well, and you brought up a good point, Calvin. If you want to get rid of that condominium, what's your luck of getting rid of and getting your money back?
Yeah. It's best to try to break even, but we
if you can
Western thinking over here and see. You say, okay, there's a friend of mine. I won't say any names. He's got a house he bought for X amount of million, but he says it's worth 5.5 million now. And I'm like, no one's going to buy that from you for 5.5 million. You know, with the size of it, I think it's like 65 square meter house, 80 square meter lot. Man, you know, I don't care. You're going to have to catch, I don't know. You got to catch somebody sleeping. I'm sorry, before they buy that, especially around the pandemic. 5.5 million. I built my house for $1 million. Who's going to spend for 5.5 million for that?
Good luck.
I would build my own house if I'm going to spend. It takes a certain type of individual to come over here and spend that kind of money anyhow, guys.
Well, Calvin, be honest. If you wanted to sell your house tomorrow, it'd probably sit on the market for a long time, and it's not that expensive.
Oh, absolutely, especially now. But here's the thing, though, John. Not the lot. The lot would sell tomorrow. But because it's got a house on it, that's a different story.
Yeah.
See?
The land will go up. The land will sell for faster. The land will sell for faster.
Remember, my girlfriend's sister, her boyfriend bought her a lot, or her ex-boyfriend bought her a lot in South Villa for 1.2 million. The minute they broke up, I promise you, she put it on the market 2 days later, it was gone.
And she probably sold it for half of what he paid for.
No, she got the 1.2.
She got it all? Good.
She got it all.
That should make him feel a little better.
Because they're going to buy the land, John. They're not, but in this particular place, it's in a subdivision, and good luck, man. I'm telling you, good luck telling that. Hey,
Naughty Bike Rider has a question here. Where are the foreclosures auction posts at, especially from the banks? Look at Calvin and my last live stream. My neighbor bought a foreclosure from the bank, built a restaurant bar on it, built up a clientele for about a year, and guess what? The previous owners came back and told him to get off. They have 10 years to make one payment and get that back. Stay away from the bank foreclosures. Buying land here, like I say, rent for a long time. Get to know the locals. Get to know what's going on. I would not buy anything here until I was here for a long time. So what that foreigner did, he already had a bar and restaurant and clientele build up. Well, they paid 1 month payment to take it back. I gave him 30 days to get out. He paid people to come in and tear everything down. He said, I never left a stick. I never left a piece of gravel bigger than that. I took everything. The septic system I could not take, so I destroyed it. And that sounds like something I'd do.
Yeah. Remember, when you start dealing with stuff like that, you better get a lawyer, because
But the problem to me is, how do you know which one to trust? More lawyers get killed here by the two motorcycle tandem than anybody else.
Yeah, well, that's where you would go to, like this engineer here. My girlfriend, recommended him. You gotta
and that's something else. That's something else, Calvin. You got that friend here. I would ask him, who do you recommend? He would probably know.
Yeah, he would know.
But just going and picking out a lawyer on your own, you don't know.
No, you wouldn't. I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't either.
That's worse than getting on them dating sites, getting these women you don't know. It's the same thing.
I agree.
What's the difference? It's better that you ask somebody like, hey, Robert, I got over here, there's a woman, she's nice. My girlfriend's, is it your niece? She's 30, what? How old is she? 32. Never had a boyfriend ever since. She's working is she still a Jollibee? see, that would be somebody if you came over. I would not introduce you online because I tried that. But because she's never had a boyfriend before, she's moving real slow, and it was going too slow for the guy I introduced her to. They were trying to do it online. So he gave up. That would be the type of woman you would meet over here in person. And you're going to have to be patient with women like that. They're not just going to jump in the sack with you the first night and all of that.
Right. Yeah.
First night and all of that. So, if that's what you wanted. But, a lot of times that is one good thing about the dating sites. They're hot and ready to go. Just put them in the microwave for a few minutes and they're ready.
But both Calvin and I have met our current women online. After you get here, I think it's a good thing to get online because when they start playing games, you can say, well, okay, I'll come and see you tomorrow.
That's right. I'm there.
Or later today.
I'm not saying that there's not good women online. We're talking about something totally different. We're talking about money. And we're talking about, sending money. And we're saying these long distance relationships. I never chatted a woman over 2 weeks. Never.
Calvin,
I don't have the patience for it.
Can I add something to it? Remember now, I live on Guam. I live on Guam now, right? I'm only 3 hours away from the Philippines. 3 hours. Imagine that by plane. So when I was talking to some of the women online and where I said where I'm at, I said Guam, and they thought it's Guatemala. And they thought I was way, way on the other side of the world, right? In America somewhere, in Guatemala. But I said, when I was talking to them, I go, I'm only 3 hours away from you guys, right? He goes, huh? Yes. I can fly there in 3 hours. I go, I can fly there in 3 hours and be with you if you want. And they go, oh, okay.
See, I
they
met
never
my
talked to me.
I met my girlfriend over here. I was already here.
Yeah, I know. That's it. He told me that. So I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah, I was already over here.
Joseph has a question. He said, do your girlfriends automatically make lunches and supper? Well, I didn't eat breakfast this morning. And if you saw me earlier, I was eating a sandwich because Janessa said, you haven't eaten it. You must eat. So, yes, they take care of you. One woman that's married to an expat here, Janessa told her that I cook my own dinner sometimes. And she said, you're making a big mistake. You must make these men dependent on you. I mean, that's part of the game.
I married a Filipino lady and she gives birth to my kid. Can I buy the land in my kid's name? I don't know. I mean, that's something for, but like Rudy said, Rudy can answer that.
Yeah.
Do it in the short term, Rudy. Don't write a book.
The problem is this. You can tell her, David, is that you can give it to your kid, but the problem is the lawyer won't recommend it because of the fact that once the kid has it in their hands, all the relatives and everybody else will pick on the kid to get it because he's the owner of the land.
He's
and you have
right.
nothing to say. You have nothing to say about it. That's what my lawyer told me when I was in the Philippines. Why don't I just give it to my son? He goes, no, you can't. No. Can't do that.
Hey, Danny Jackson, what's going on? He said, hey, Calvin, what's up? Me and Jeffrey Tatter getting you a Christmas box together. Get with Jeffrey for the details.
What about me, Danny?
I've got to get him. I got to give him my address, man. I really appreciate it. I think these brothers is over in Japan, if I'm not mistaken. Some part of Japan. Is it Okinawa, Danny? Okay, booby. Iskandari Television says, I need to be on the panel to correct some of the information being broadcast here. Wow. What you do in the Navy, Cal? I was in 6 years in 82. I went in as a cook, mess management specialist. I'm going to tell you why I did. They were given a $1,500 bonus, and that was a lot of money in 1981. I'd never seen $1,500 in my life. And the recruiter said, I said, well, when do I get that money? He said, the minute you graduate from A school, you got to complete the A school. And the minute I graduated, they gave me the money, but they took out taxes on it, Robert. So I got $1,200, but man, that was a lot of money. And I ended up going home for Christmas. Well, not Christmas, like the New Year. I had 1,200 big bucks in my pocket. I was a baller, man, back in 1981. But I never cooked, Greg. I did a little bit in Memphis, Tennessee, because they had an A school there, and you know the students. I cooked in the morning like pancakes, omelets, like that. But yeah, I didn't really. They never gave me a menu and told me to put together a meal. I didn't do that.
It really surprises me. I have met a lot of ex-Navy guys, but Calvin and Steve Johnson are the only two cooks I ever met. All the rest of them were Navy SEALs.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
How did you two cook for all those guys? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you something. See, I served in the Navy with Filipinos. Back then, we still had the bases over here. You could join the U.S. Armed Forces as a Filipino citizen. I served with guys who couldn't speak English. I served with guys on the ship who couldn't speak English. You know, you couldn't understand them, but you know, they were able to join the Navy, and most of the cooks were Filipino.
My uncle got recruited that way. He was he lives in Bacoor, Cavite, and then what happened is that they recruited him from recruiting, and then he went into the Navy that way. Filipino citizen.
He said the light said, Calvin, would you make a girl a fiance after a month of knowing her? Well,
no.
They're going to do that while you're on the line. They're going to call you my fiance. You know.
It took me a while.
The light. I would make her my fiance, but it'd be a long engagement.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can easily say, yeah, we're engaged, but over here, there's actually a ceremony, really, when you get engaged. You're supposed to buy food and everything like that, and it's like a party. You know, to be honest with you, but Mr. Vegas said Rudy likes the sound of his own voice. That's not the only thing. Only thing he likes about himself.
Robert Jones, thank you. Booby's a good girl.
Hey, Robert Jones, thanks for the super chat. Said this for Booby. Hey, Booby, say thank you, Tito Robert.
Hold her up so they can see her.
This is for her appearance on the show.
Can't see her.
There you go.
She's cute.
$50.
Tell me she's not cute.
But every time, I don't care if somebody calls me on my phone and wants to just chat. Booby wants to be on camera now.
Well, Calvin, I'll say one thing. You are very lucky. My daughter looked like me, but your daughter looks like Marilyn. You are very lucky.
Oh, really? He said, get those baby pictures, Rudy. Yeah, the next time you're on the channel, Rudy, we want to see some baby pictures.
Oh, I look fat when I was small. I look really fat.
Were you on the bearskin rug like Buck?
No.
But if you look at Rudy's profile pic on Facebook, he looks just like Tiger Woods.
That's my mama. That's my mom and me. That's her last picture before she passed away with me.
They're asking about your
it is.
Yep.
Dual citizenship again.
What she said? What they say?
Rudy. But yeah, guys, you can't take your land to heaven. Just take the damn memories. Absolutely, man. You don't come over here with all that stuff like that, man. I wouldn't worry about it. You think I built this house and I'm going to worry about whether she owns it or whose name's it in? That's bringing the same problems from there over here. I don't want them problems over here. So I just built the damn house. If it don't work out, I got to leave. Then guess what? Okay. I have to start all over. But I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to lose sleep at night about it.
Well, Calvin, you've been through divorces in the U.S. If you left tomorrow, is a heck of a lot cheaper than what you had in the U.S.
Oh my God, what are you talking about?
Oh, John Wales for president.
No. I'd be assassinated day number one.
Yeah, but yeah, Leah and Blair, you're right about that, guys. You know, we got to keep that type of thinking over there. But John, you kind of look like Donald Trump.
My hair's real.
John, he looks like Donald Trump, but then sometimes he looks like Hitler. Then sometimes he looks like John. Hey, King Arthur, can Calvin give Booby her minute of fame? Booby's over there. Look at her.
Boobies have a lifetime of fame.
I'm gonna tell you something, guys. Yeah, she's cute and all that, but Booby's a handful, especially when you get my age. I can't handle her. He said you could have voted none of the above or written in yourself. Yeah, but I just wanted to vote for somebody. Hey, Vince Lawson, thanks for the super chat. Said OS3 checking in. CS Road. And after the pandemic down, you got to cook one of them Navy omelets, shipmate. I can do that in my sleep. But you don't want the eggs we were using. We were using that powdered milk, Vince. He was an OS3. I was actually an MS3, is what they call a mess. They call it a mess management specialist because it's called the mess hall. But
tell me, Calvin, do you think the eggs taste better here? I do.
Well, I'd eat more of them here, John. Everything tastes better here, to be honest with you. Especially
the women fish. Do.
Yeah, women especially.
Oh my God, he stopped again.
Especially the fish.
There we go.
But I eat a lot more eggs here. And that has a lot to do with, I guess, with my sex appetite, man. I'm going to tell you something. I was thinking about this today on my bike. I was like, I wonder why my sex drive is so high. What is attributing to it? You know, I take vitamins. I don't take any prescription drugs. I've never been on prescription drugs. And I'm not going to knock on wood. But, you know, to be 58, man, my sex drive is too high. And sometimes that's not a good thing, you know.
Rudy is Tiger Woods' brother. I play golf, though.
Mr. Most Scientific says, so it's better to take your Filipino girlfriend to Guam and get married since the round trip flight is so cheap.
Well, okay.
It's still the same thing, you know, really.
Can I address that?
Yeah.
Okay. What happened is that I had friends that are from the mainland that came to, we agreed to go to the Philippines. And so what happened was that they all met me in Guam and then we went to the Philippines. And then when they came back and so forth, they went back to their own places in the United States. And then they start calling me up. They said, Rudy, is there any jobs in Guam? I go, why? He says, don't you have nice jobs in the mainland and so forth? Just, yeah, but you see, every time if I lived on Guam, I can visit my family anytime. I can spend the weekend in the Philippines, then leave like it was nothing. Because I can be back here by Monday. I can leave on a Friday, come back on a Monday, and nobody's a wiser. In the mainland, if I take a vacation, I have to tell my boss. I have to do time. I have to tell them where I'm going to go. What am I going to do? I have to do all this time stuff. In Guam, I don't even have to do that. I can just leave, come back. That's it. So I'd like to live there better than staying in the States, even though I make more money.
Okay, Rudy, calm down. They said, is Robert okay? Are you okay, Robert? They said,
I'm good.
Looks fine to me.
State of Man said 700 square meters in Moncton, 240,000. So what's that every month? State of the Man. 240,000.
While he's figuring that out, I got a question for you, Robert. So your mother stayed in Japan and your father took you. Was it because of her family pressure?
Not necessarily the pressure. They both agreed that it was better for him to bring me back to the States because her family would not had accepted me.
Wow. I mean,
And
so
my
that is
father
family
wasn't.
pressure.
Yeah, so my father wasn't planning to live in Japan, for the rest of his life or what have you. So, and I did ask like, well, why didn't she come? And he was like, it's that family bond. She didn't want to leave her family.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, do you have any Japanese traits? Does anybody? Can I listen? If I walked up on you in person, would I say like, well, hell, he's half Japanese, half black?
I do have a lot of people say, hey, what are you mixed with? Me, I grew up in America. I'm black. That's how I've always been looked at.
But,
yeah.
They don't even count the Japanese part. Like, right.
Yeah, no. For some people, they would say, yeah.
Make it worse. They might even make it worse.
Because of my hair. He said what?
He says, this is something, he said, peaceful 100 times. So, Calvin, when you and Buck say Southern Lady, what does that mean? Southern Leyte, Leyte.
Yes.
That's the island of Leyte. I'm sorry if I say lady. Buck says lady with that old Southern slang. It's Leyte.
That Mississippi.
Now, I lived in Southern Leyte.
Oh, it's nice there, right?
Peaceful.
Especially Tacloban. Tacloban's nice.
Peaceful. I lived in Southern Leyte, 6 hours south of Tacloban. It is very remote.
Yeah.
I could not get cell phone, no stores. I actually liked it, but I don't know if I want to live there forever.
You're isolated.
Very isolated. But I liked it. If you want chicken for dinner, you go to the farmer, buy the chicken, take it home, and butcher it.
That's right.
Yeah, see, some people like that, but you're right, John. I think after a while that would get old for me.
I think so too. I had to travel 2 hours just to get to a town that had a store just to buy a rice cooker or anything. I mean, it was very remote.
Yes, very remote. And see, that's why I tell you that there's more than one Philippines, That's why I try to show y'all that little house. If you look at that video about the 5 superstitious Filipinos still practice today, people thought I was trying to be funny, but no, a lot of people live like that over here. People you're chatting with. I wanted to show you what a house looks like.
What percentage do you think of Filipinos live like what you showed or worse? I would say 80%, but what do you think?
I'm gonna say about 60%.
You might be right.
Because a lot of people are moving to the city, but that's still a lot of people.
But the ones that live in the city might live worse than what you showed.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you may be right. You may be right, John. But the reason I say 60, I'm going to say about 60, 65% because
You might be right.
Pre-pandemic, man, the Philippines was booming.
Yeah.
It was, man, one of the fastest growing, if not the fastest growing economy in all of Asia. And people's lifestyles had improved tremendously, especially the middle class had grown a lot. To the point where if you look at Roger and Esmeralda, they live in the same type of house you live in, John.
Okay, but if you take the middle class here, where would that equal, in your opinion, to the American middle class? I would say the middle class here would equal to poverty in the U.S.
Yeah, but
that's me.
But you shouldn't compare America to the Philippines.
I agree, but we do.
Yeah, you can't do that. Yeah, you can't do that, and that's one of the things that we always do. When I made the video of foreigners rich in the Philippines, you'll be shocked. People want to keep on, well, you're poor. That's nothing in America. Yeah, but I'm not in America. I'm in the Philippines. When I'm in the Philippines, I'm in the Philippines. When I'm in America, I'm in America. You can't even think like that. You're in a whole different country, in a whole different hemisphere.
Yeah. Remember what you told me, Calvin, when I told you how much I'm going to make for when I retire? You said I'm a baller.
Over here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all that matters. But
Rudy,
see a lot of people bearing witness to what I said.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, he's right. I don't have any money problems over here like I did over there. That's the point of that video. The 3,800 is like a reference point. So if you got 2,000, however high you over the 38 or lower, it'll give you an idea of the lifestyle you can live over here.
But Rudy, if you make $1,000 US a month, you're a baller here. Some doctors don't make that here.
You know what? You know what? What's funny? I have a professor here. Professor here. His wife is a Filipina, and she is an OBGYN in the Philippines in Pampanga. And she comes. Yeah.
And what she make a month?
Not a lot. but because the professor that lives here and is in this university, well, you know, whatever she needs, he can afford because he's a professor.
Naughty Backlighter said Filipinos learn how to be happy with nothing. It's us foreigners who have a problem adjusting
That's right.
to living with nothing.
And I agree.
Yeah, because we're brought up in a materialistic society. It's all about what you got in America. I don't know about England, France, Australia. In America, it's all about how much money you got. Some of the most wicked, ornery people on the planet, we love and respect them simply because they got money. And that's what they base it on. You know, it's guys, one of my friends, he posted, he just got a, honey, get Booby, she's going to fall out of this chair. See, this problem I got, Booby's smart and she's stuck, but she's still only 15 months. They treat Booby like she's grown. Booby can't watch herself. Look at this. He showed a picture of a used Escalade. See, that type of thinking, you know, like, come on, man. You think you're doing something, you know, with a used Escalade on Facebook, you know, but that's how we look at it over there. We're just so materialistic. Anything we get, we got to show it. And, you know, my car's better than yours. My house is bigger. And you come over here and try to live with nothing or with the minimal amount of stuff. That's why a lot of people can't stay here.
The Filipinos make do with what they got.
Why would you want to create your life from there over here? I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't want to do it. You got to be able to bend a little bit, have some flexibility. Otherwise, you know, you just got a new address, really.
Hey, guys.
And I see a lot of foreigners like that, and they're miserable over here. They don't go anywhere. They won't try the food. They don't want to be around Filipino people. And I'm like, man, why in the world are you over here then? Because of a woman. That ain't going to work, man.
No.
That's going to get old.
Calvin, I got to go because I have to pick up my son from school.
Hey, take care, Rudy.
Goodbye, Rudy. You're not leaving because you have to work.
No.
Yeah.
Right. Goodbye, Rudy.
Don't pick up no lady boys on the way home.
There's none here. There's none here. There's none here I can do with.
Oh, they got lady boys on Guam?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
They got lady boys on Guam. Look at.
Yeah, they do. Look at him. He cheesing too hard.
Yeah,
the
cheesy door.
No, they don't. Woman got over the lady boy. I'm gonna go down there and check it out.
You can come down here and check it out. Go ahead.
To make sure you got.
Okay. Bye.
You got a real woman. Okay, Rudy, thanks for joining us, brother.
Rudy's a good guy.
Yeah, Rudy's a good guy. Yeah. But I think this guy's right. I think Rudy's getting took for a ride, and
we'll see.
I told him when he gets over here.
We'll see.
Make sure he comes by and see me. We'll go down there together. Hell, we'll check.
It'd be our Christian duty.
Yeah, he said take him or her for a test drive. Rudy, I'm sorry. Yeah, she don't want to go to Manila. See, that's a red flag. I would say, okay, well, later. Imagine I could get over here. If I'm Rudy, I could get over here. I got 5 days of quarantine, but if I come to see you, I got 14 days. If you don't want to get on a plane for 1 hour and come to Manila, I'm sorry. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's what I wanted Rudy to watch right here. This is the reality right here, guys. I don't care how much money you spent sending over here. I can bear witness to it right now.
But in all fairness to the Panays, they talked to 10 guys, maybe only one will come here. So
yeah, that's what they're saying. They don't believe you're gonna come.
yeah, because we don't.
She's climbing up on this chair, man. At 15 months, she's too much for me. I hope she's not getting out of the way.
Where's your helper, Calvin?
Oh, I couldn't deal with that.
Where's your helper?
I might jump on the hamster wheel if another booby shows up. He said,
"Jump on the hamster wheel to get away."
I'll pay Rudy for $200 a month. Wow. Yeah, especially if you don't have to do nothing, just sit back with a damn wig on and have him
long distance
every damn month.
Right.
Mr. Vegas said, Rudy, I'm a hot chick. Please send me $100 a week. You can trust me.
Too bad he's gone already.
That's really all they're saying. You can trust me. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here when you get here. Yeah. My girlfriend will sit down right here and tell you she was chatting with 2 other men when I came along. I just happened to get her first. Brad Jones said, what dating site did Rudy meet his girlfriend? He tried to lie. He said, Christian dating he can't remember. How you going to forget when they taking money out of your damn bank account every month? You know who you chatting with, Rudy. Kosa Sigwalo says they don't post foreclosed properties online. You got to go to Land Bank or BPI.
Don't do it.
Yeah, that's good information there. Sony Rose Belling says, hello, please notify. Sending full support from hello, please notify. Sending full support from Palaparan 3, Dasma.
Sorry, Sony.
No sound. Okay, my phone is broken. She's looking for somebody to help her, guys.
Rudy just left.
Yeah, Rudy just left.
Good one.
Hey, I have a question for you, Calvin and John, and any of your subscribers, viewers. One thing I've noticed about the Filipino women, they're all Filipino, but I've noticed that they all have different facial characteristics. Like, for example, Roger and Esme or Esmeralda, if she was here in the States, I would mistake her to be Hispanic. She doesn't look Asian. She doesn't have those characteristics. But if you look at Rue, from Cliff and Rue, you can look and see. But then you look in different areas. Of course, you got your what they call them, Morenos, which are the darker skin. But I do notice there are different facial characteristics of the Filipino women, where some look super Asian, some look more Spanish or Hispanic. You guys tell us more about that.
Yeah, remember I said that the Philippines is very diverse.
Yeah.
Because on these different islands, you even got people up in the mountains, they really look different.
Yeah.
But different colors. Because, Filipinos got African, European, Asian. If you look at my girlfriend, John's girlfriend doesn't look Asian.
Asian, right. That Asian.
You gotta remember, what we're talking is Chinese, South Korean, Japanese, like that. Filipinos don't look like that. They look more Polynesian or something like that. Now they'll start looking like Indonesians, Malaysians, like that. Because of the region, Southeast Asia.
Robert, you hit the nail on the head. I've seen so many different facial characteristics here. It's unbelievable. Whatever you do, don't say Rue looks like Chinese. I saw her get real mad about that.
No.
But I tell you what I did with Janessa here. I said, hey, I want to show you some people. Tell me what you think. I pulled up pictures of Mexicans, and my wife said, they look like Filipinos to me. So in my opinion, most Filipinos look like Mexicans.
Hispanic,
but you do get the Chinese round face and more of a slant, a little lighter color. There's a very big variety here. That's what I
And
think.
the reason why I brought that up was because I've been on Christian Filipinos since like the beginning of January. I haven't corresponded with nobody. It's just that LDR thing, long distance relationship thing. I'm not really into, but I've noticed all the different facial profiles.
Very
I'm
different.
like, wow, you know.
Yes, very different.
And every once in a while, I'll see a Filipino that looks different than all the ones I've seen. I mean, it's a very, very vast and wide here.
Hey, Daryl Fillmore, thanks for that super stick.
Thank you, Daryl.
Yeah, that's one thing that's really gonna shock you. That's why I said when you get over here, man, you're gonna see some stuff, man, you never seen before. There's no one Philippines, really. I say that over and over, but it's true. There's no one Philippines. It's just like in America. Just like you said, you're an American. John says he's an American. It's just as diverse over here as it is there.
I agree.
People don't believe me, but it is. They said, damn, Doug Carr said he re-enlisted 2 years and got second class and 30 grand. Yeah, they got stupid later on down the line, but they gave me $1,500. That might as well have been 20 grand in 1981 for me. I was earning, let's see, I think $2.65 an hour, if I'm not mistaken. When I joined the service, I might have been $3.10. I can't remember. It was when Reagan started getting stingy as hell, you know, with the raises. You wasn't getting no raises, Rob, but he cut that out. Remember that? Because
now listen,
every year the minimum wage would go up automatically.
Yeah.
Reagan got in there and cut it for 8 years. It didn't go up. And we haven't recovered. The working man over there hasn't recovered. I'm sorry. No. I know y'all love Reagan and everything, but
I don't.
I'm just telling you, man. He cut that off. We never caught up. It should be a living wage by now, because my daughter got hired at General Electric, earning $15 and let's say $15.50, right? In this 2021. I started at Brown and Williamson. This is in 1989 at $15.35 an hour. So how in the world? And she's thrilled to death. She thinks that's a good job. And I said, don't you realize I started off at $15.35 at Brown and Williamson Tobacco Corporation in 1989. How's it a good deal? But you know, they got us on that one, guys. If anybody that even see, I pay attention to stuff like this because everybody always talks about inflation. The dollar's worth about 33 cents now than when it was in 1984. That's crazy, believe it or not. They said John's got better.
Well, Calvin, I'll tell you, I'll say one thing. If you were making $15 in 1989, I was only making $13.50. So you was doing good.
Yeah, but I was at, you know, I live in Kentucky. I live in tobacco country. You know, Brown Williamson was a big time job. See, and I worked in research and development, and I also worked in the. Now I didn't work in the factory. The factory had moved to Macon, Georgia. And then the promotions department. But yeah, I was earning good money back then. And now all of a sudden, in 1992, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I was earning over $19 an hour. I was working at DuPont Chemicals in 1992. That's almost 30 years ago. So what happened? The bottom fell out somewhere, guys. Y'all gotta help me with that.
Well, I can tell you what happened. NAFTA was part of it.
He said you got better hair than Trump, John.
Thank you, buddy. It's real. And that's the thing. If mine all fell out tomorrow, I don't care.
All you need is a funny looking mustache, John. Hey, thank you, CJ Mortimer. I appreciate it. Which I really love your channel. Yeah, I got a good video coming up for y'all. I don't know if I'm gonna do it today. My voice would be shot after these live streams. Yeah, Doug Carr said Orma. Yeah, I've been to Orma, but that's not considered Southern lady. Really, Southern lady is Southern lady. I mean,
It's on the east side.
Yeah, you're way down there.
He's on a.
Brad Jones said Rudy is the Tiger Woods of sugarcoating. Yeah, Rudy sugarcoats, man. I get on him all the time about that.
Hey, he never told us exactly what his fiance do to make 300.
Well, he claims she's a call center, but that's still a lie.
Oh, is that what he said? Okay, I didn't hear nothing.
Full of it over here, man. He's not. She may. I've heard him earn as much as 40,000 a month. That's with bonuses and stuff like that. And she's not earning no 15,000 pesos a day.
But is her call center 15 Westerners she's talking to?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right.
Hey, Eric Brown, he said, Calvin, here in California, my wife and I have 3 homes. Wow, in the Philippines. I'm looking forward to living there. What do y'all rent them out or just owning them and letting the family live in that? Because people are pleasantly surprised when they come in this house. It looks little, but it's big enough for us, man. You know.
Nice. I tell you, I
don't need anything bigger than this. Anything bigger than this, I think would be a waste. I
tell you, I've been to Calvin's house. It is great for what he paid. I don't need anything any bigger. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you don't need nothing any big. It should be perfect for 1 or 2 people. I mean, it would be like a mansion for 2 people. It was just you and your woman, and you lived in here. And there's only 52 square meters, guys. The way they built this thing is unbelievable. Greg Brown said, I've been married to a beautiful Filipino for about 4 years. Best woman on earth, yeah. You're still on your honeymoon, by the way. Remember, marriage, the average marriage is 8 years.
Okay, Iskandari said the call center starts at $400 a month. How's she getting $300 a day?
Yeah, she's getting,
These are questions we need to ask Rudy next time he comes on, though. He has to answer to these questions.
We need to get her on the panel.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You probably don't want.
I'm sure she doesn't.
You probably don't. Imagine, you know how Filipinos are. They don't really care who you are. They go by your character. Imagine, because she's 24, Rudy told me. And so he's 57. Okay. He'll be 58. So imagine her having to put up with Rudy and his conversation.
Day in, day out.
Yeah, you don't want to be somebody's Lolo over here. I promise you that, guys.
And don't get me wrong. So the Filipino that was over here and that I talked to brief. We talked. We're Facebook friends, but she was 24. I'm 48. I'm like, we ain't got really a whole lot in common, but she was just, that's who she was. She was like, that was her thing, was an older black guy, the only thing was I was her manager. So there was some conflict of interest there or what have you, but she was really cool though. I mean, all in all, but I got a little bit of that Filipino interaction or what have you, even though she's been here for 7 years, and I would say she's somewhat westernized. Her thinking, the buying of things, having name brand stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So,
Robert, 24 years old. I think I would have went and got another job.
Nah.
I'm just
kidding. Work my job now. Don't get me wrong. Listen, there's a lot of 24-year-olds here, regardless if they Filipino or not. But she was cool. It was just that we just didn't really have a lot in common. But at the same time, I was like, but she was really, but I'm put this way, she was really like adamant about like, hey, but also she didn't want like, I'm like 3 years older than her father.
Yeah.
I've been older than all my Panay's fathers,
You're gonna run into
sometimes
that.
grandfathers.
Yeah, you're gonna run into that.
And
Yeah.
when I meet a guy that's younger than me, and it's the woman's father, you know what I call him? Papa.
Yeah, they want you.
I take their hand, put it on my forehead.
Are they calling you the same thing?
I always take their hand, put it on my forehead, and call him Papa.
Yeah, it took me a long time, Eric. He said, Calvin, it seems that you understand your life in the Philippines. Yeah, it took a long time for me to finally simmer down and, and roll with the punches, man, because that's what you got to do. We were talking about it earlier. Excuse me. They talked about the worst thing about this place is my patience is not on the level that it needs to be really to really just be all the way in over here. Because, man, I'm going to tell you, it drives you.
I heard that. Patience.
Everything works like this in America. Over here, man, it works like.
Let me say, Calvin has helped me more than anything else. About 6 months ago, he said, John, just remember, we're retired. We have nothing else to do. And I find myself telling myself that about once a day.
Yeah, you better.
Otherwise, you go crazy.
You're going to go crazy because it's nothing you can really do. And that's what I was telling the American friend of mine when he said, man, I don't even go out. He said, because I get so frustrated because Filipinos have no authority. They can't help me when I go in the store and blah, blah, blah. And I find myself raising my voice. And, my wife is, she's terrified because you don't want to do that over here. You don't want to raise your voice. So he says, so I just don't go out. And I'm saying, but you've already got the answer. You already know it's going to be like that. So he said it still bothers him,
What Calvin said, don't get upset, especially at immigrations. They will kick you out and blacklist you for being rude, whatever rude is.
Yeah, it's going to take you a long time to get there, though, because I'm going to tell you, that's how you know somebody new over here versus somebody that's been around a long time. You're going to pull your hair out literally over here, man. The last time I was in Manila, because I don't go to Manila a lot. We were in the airport. We just flew into Manila. We're sitting there in the line. I'm talking about a long line, probably the longest line you've ever seen, waiting for a taxi. And we see this black guy, and he's pacing back and forth, cussing. And, he can't stand in line. He's not used to that. And it's hot, And I said to him, I told her, I said, this is his first time here. It has to be. Because he was literally going crazy, man. If you don't have patience, don't come over here, man. That's a fact.
So that's one of the key things you need to really adapt to is the slow pace, not only a slow pace of life, but just the slow pace of service. Like you said, when you're talking about going to immigration, trying to get things done, don't expect it to happen. Because here in the United States, sometimes we'll wait till the last minute, but we could do everything online and we could get it shuffled through, and so just be patient, basically.
But knowing that, nobody told me that. I'm telling you that. See, if somebody told me that, then every time I'd go to the store or this is when you have to use your girlfriend or your wife, because they're used to it. You go to the pharmacy. If you go to the pharmacy just to pick up some vitamins, you're liable to be in there for 20 minutes because the way they do it, okay, they'll say, oh, okay, sir, what can I get you? I'll say, let me have 20 D3 life extension. So they'll look it up in a computer, how much it costs. They tell you how much it costs. You give them the money. Then that's the person that took your money. They'll give it to somebody else. They'll go fill the order. Then they'll bring it back and give it to somebody else who's the cashier. Okay.
Only one person handles the money. They're all responsible for it. Yes.
Yeah. So she may have 10 other orders right there, and she's
Or
going
20.
to work in the order. And then by the time you get those 3 vitamins that you ordered, you're going to be there for 30 minutes. Hey, everybody. Well, here's one of our special guests, the guy I really wanted y'all to meet. He came on here late. We got about 20 minutes left. It's the black man.
You guys get that out of here.
Go ahead and
I'm on this.
let me clear your face off. I gotta find this. Wait.
I'm on this. Go. You guys go in there with it. Go.
Hey, welcome to the channel,
Yes.
man. We appreciate you showing
Hey, there
up.
he is.
Thank you.
Black
Thank
man
you.
in the building.
Can you hear me?
Are you feeling better?
Yeah, I'm feeling a whole lot better. Can you hear me?
Good. Can you give us
Yeah.
a little background? Can you give us a little
Can you hear me now?
background?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
hear you
yeah, I can hear
fine.
Okay.
Give us a little background. How long you been here in the Philippines?
Oh, okay. I've only been here about 6 months.
You're still in the honeymoon then.
Yeah. I came here about, say, 3.5 years ago with my wife. It actually took me 10 years to get over here because I'm claustrophobic.
Oh, wow.
So she's been, right. So she's been flying back and forth for 10 years. So 3.5 years ago, I finally came over and I just fell in love with the place. And after my youngest boy turned 18 and went into the Air Force, I decided to just go ahead and pack it up and move on over here.
Where are you living, Mr. Black Man?
I'm in Leyte, Tellier.
I don't know what Terrell is. I have to look. How far from Tacloban or Ormec or one of them? Masson, how far from them?
Okay, I'm about an hour and 15 minutes from Tacloban.
Okay, south.
Okay, yeah. So you're getting are you getting any bad weather over that way?
Not right now. Not right now. It's just clouds.
Yeah. Something you said that interests me. You said you met your wife in the States.
Yes.
What, did y'all work together or something?
No, she was actually working as a cashier in Walmart. So I went in there one day to buy some paint, and she was my cashier. And actually, we had an argument the first time I met her because I was standing in the wrong place in line, but there was no one behind me. But then the line filled up to the right side of me, and she tried to make me go back to the end, and I wasn't having it. But after I left the store, I was with a friend, and I looked at him. I said, "Man," I said, "she's cute, huh?" He said, "Yeah." I said, I'm coming back tomorrow." So I pursued her, and she finally went on a date with me, and that was like 15, 16 years ago. So
yeah, man, that's interesting because I always tell guys to do that when they come over here. That's a good way to meet girls. If you see one at the store and you go back a couple of times and let her kind of get familiar with you.
Right.
Are you some type of doctor or a nurse or something? I see you do checkups and stuff.
Right. I was a combat medic in the military for 12 years. Then I was a licensed vocational nurse. But then when I got out of the military, I got my registered nurse license. But the last 10, 12 years, I worked emergency room as a registered nurse. So that in combat medic, I have a lot of hands-on. So here in the village. Go ahead.
Where were you an emergency room nurse at?
In the
what
California,
part of the country?
Lancaster, California, and Palmdale, California.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where did you see the most? Was it in combat or was it at in California? The worst wounds and stuff.
The emergency room in California.
What I figured.
Right. We were one of the trauma centers. So we got a lot of wounds, car accident, anything big came through our emergency room. So like here in the village, I just do minor stuff, like blood pressure. We have diabetics here, and these people can't get out and get their sugar checked. I have a machine. I do that. I would check the blood pressures. I can do a physical assessment and kind of like guide them in the right direction. But the main thing I try to do is keep over-the-counter medicines in stock. So that what goes out fast because here in the village, they can't afford that. So, we get these kids and they coughing colds and adults have coughing colds. Yeah. I like to have it and give it to them because it helps them.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so you live in Tolosa?
Excuse me?
I didn't hear.
I live in Telly-Aaron.
Telly-Aaron. I'm trying to look at it on the map. Okay.
Lady Telly-Aaron, Cooper Can.
Okay, I'm just trying to find out I got a map here I paid about 20 pesos for.
Oh, okay. But I'm still new to where I'm at, so I can't actually direct nobody where I'm at because I'm still trying to learn the country.
So what is one thing you've had to adapt to since you've been here?
Excuse me?
What's one of the things that you've had to adapt to since you've been here? You only been here 6 months.
Right. It's just the convenience. Because, before I left the state of Texas, like at nighttime, me and my wife, we were used to, if we got hungry, especially me, I'm going to the barbecue joint. Or if I want to just get out and go for a ride just to get some fresh air, I do that. I just miss things like that. Because here in the village, I have none of that, I can go for a walk and that's it and come back. I take the short boat ride, but the convenience of just leaving and getting in my car and take a nice drive or go to a restaurant, things like that is what I miss.
Yeah. Now, do you drive or you have a motorcycle or how do you get around?
Just the boat. From the village, the only way we can get out is by boat. Because behind us is just the mountains. Well, it's a dirt road back there. And I think if you get a motorcycle, I've seen a few people that make it from the main road and hit the dirt road and come back to where we're at. But we just usually get on the boat and go to the next town where we can get a cab or a bus or something.
Yeah. You had said that you were bumping heads with one of the village elders or something.
And she's not an elder. She's a resident in the village. She has a house in the village. But the crazy thing is she lives in Australia, but she wants to be known as the biggest person in the village, the richest person in the village. But her sister is the how you call it? The Barangay captain?
Barangay captain.
Is the Barangay captain. So
Which means nothing to me.
Feel me as a threat. Because this woman, she tries to put down every single thing that I do. She's telling me what I'm doing is illegal, and I explained to her, I'm not doing anything illegal. Everything I'm doing for the people in the village is what they can do in their own house, but some of them don't have the resources that I have. That's why I do it for them. But this lady, she sent emails to everybody in the village. Don't go to him. He's trying to use you. And it's just crazy. And she's calling me monkey. And her sister, who's the captain, has called me monkey too.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So, right. So my Nana had to go to the captain's house to confront her and ask her, why are you calling my son-in-law monkey? So she tried to play it off and say, oh, we was just joking. It's just a joke.
It's kind of ironic because that's the name that people, that's a derogatory name that people call Filipinos all the time. And that's why
Right.
I was saying it's kind of strange that she would call you a monkey.
Yeah, that's what they call me, monkey.
Wow.
So
Yeah, that's crazy right there. Man. Yeah,
right.
I hope y'all can get that situation straightened out, because some people here, man, they're real petty, man. And they'll cause you a lot of trouble for nothing,
Well,
really.
the Bronx captains really think they're big deals here, so I understand.
Right.
I don't agree with it, but I understand.
Well, I just recently told my wife, I said, you know what, we just gonna let her be stupid by herself. We're not gonna say nothing. We're not gonna comment when she says something. The people here see what I do. They know I'm genuine, and it's in my nature. I've been helping people all my life, and to make a long story short, I actually think I was sent here for a purpose. Because where I came from and what I used to do as a kid, I should have been dead or in prison a long time ago. And I used to always ask myself, why is God giving me all of these chances? And when I came to the Philippines to visit and I saw how poor people were, I told my wife, I said, I think this is what God was saving me for. I said, when we get a chance, we coming back here, we're going to move here. I said, I'm coming back here and do some good. But, I grew up in the ghetto out in South Central LA, and I've done some things and been in some things where many times I should have been dead or in prison, but I just kept getting out of situations, and I didn't know how I was getting out of these situations, but I kept thinking I had an angel on my back, and God was saving me for something, and I think this is it for me to be here and do what I do.
Yeah, well, I certainly have to tip my hat to you. Anytime I see foreigners over here giving back, man, it does something to me because, we're from America. We say a lot, people say a lot of negative things about America, but one thing we're generous, we're compassionate, and, we're helpful. Anytime you see a natural disaster or something over there, you see how people come together, all different religions, backgrounds, and everything. And, after 9/11, you see that. So,
Right.
I always tell guys, you don't have to come over and open up a clinic like you, do a electronic community pantry like me, but you can patronize the local vendors, something like that.
Right.
Maybe, buy a local family a bag of rice once a month, which is only about $21. So yeah, I have to tip my hat to you for that.
Thank you.
I think that's what you're running into. They're not used to seeing foreigners coming over here and, giving back like you're doing in such a big way. Because people were skeptical of me at first. It's just going to take you a little while. See, you haven't been here long enough. But then really to get to know you. And that's what I tell people about Filipino people. Yeah, they're warm and they're hospitable, but they're not really going to trust you until they get to know you.
Right.
Because why would they? Look at their history. And that's the reason why they do that. So yeah, I think that's what you're encountering right now. And as long as you consistent and keep doing what you're doing, I'm sure you're going to do that. You're not going to have a problem. Now, is that where your wife is from?
Yes, this is where she was born and raised, the village we're in. Majority of her family is here, aunts, uncles, cousin. I think, if I'm not mistaken, about 60 to 70% of the village are all relatives.
That's normal.
That's
normal.
We were talking about that. Man, you bearing witness to a lot of what we were already talking about today. I said, be careful when you get over here and you start talking about people because a lot of them are kin. You don't know who you're talking to, really.
Right.
Thanks, Buck, for that super chat. He said, Calvin, tell Brother Will about that law against disciplining children as a foreigner. I don't know if he knows.
I know.
John, you tell them about, because I know the law about, as a foreigner, you're not supposed to be with minors
Okay.
unless the
You
mother or the parents are around. You can't do that. Many people
you
get in
cannot
trouble.
you cannot discipline a child in the Philippines. It's against law. You can't strike them. You can't yell at them. You can't do anything. When I was in Southern Lady, the woman I was with had 2 children. The older one was fine. The younger one was a brat. So one day he was doing something bad, like he did every minute. But I yelled at him. A neighbor came over and said, "You're not allowed to discipline kids here. We'll call the police on you." I said, "Well, he had a shit life before I met him. And if you want to call the police on me after they let me out of jail, I'll go home and get back to his shit life. What do you think's best for him?" Well, that was the end of that. But yeah, you cannot discipline a child here. Period.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it anyway. You know, you being a foreigner, they're gonna throw the book at you anyhow. You know, this whole thing about pedophilia and all that, they want you to believe that.
Well, you know,
it's all foreigners. It's not.
Right.
Those are the ones they put out there and put on the front pages, but it's a little bit deeper than that.
Right. So like in my situation, the 5 kids are my wife's sister kids.
Yeah.
And she has abandoned them. She's gone. So these kids call me dad. They actually been calling me dad before I even moved to the Philippines. So
but you're not allowed to be alone with them.
It's not like I strike them, hit them, anything like that. But I tell them right from wrong. I tell them,
but
but
you're not allowed to be alone with them.
I'm not allowed to be alone with them.
They live in this house.
Right?
Doesn't matter. You're not allowed to be alone with them. That's the law.
They live in this house, John.
Well, they're not going to come in the house. That's not. They don't get that deep. But if he was to take those kids
out in public,
say for instance, he took them to Cebu, somewhere away from where his village, where everybody knows him. If he even took them to Tacloban, he's putting himself at a great risk.
Or even in his own village.
Well, you know, if the wrong person.
Well, that would be. That's where the Bronx captain could get him.
Yeah, you got to be careful of that.
Hey, so Calvin, I just want to just intercede in Black Man in the Village. I corresponded with you personally or what have you, man. Again, good work that what you do, the videos that you have posted as far as you just, I mean, you're doing the most basic that you can do with the children there in the village. You know, with their coughing, their fevers, what might be going on with them. But also you took in 5 other kids, you know, and you posted this on your video, so this is nothing new. So I'm not putting out your business or anything, but you took in 5 other kids as your own, and they're living under your roof. You're taking care of them, and you're help raising them to be the best that, you know, to the best of your ability and your wife's ability. And I do want to commend you on that, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, did you legally adopt them?
We have to be here 2 years before we can legally adopt them.
Okay, yeah.
But we plan on adopting them. And the reason why me and the wife talked about it is to give them a better chance in life, because once we adopt them, with me being a U.S. citizen, they will automatically have dual citizenship.
Nice.
So they won't be stuck here in the Philippines when they become an adult.
Right.
Yeah. See, that's the whole point that I try to press when guys come over here, and I say, hey, you know, if you're gonna get involved and you may have children with a Filipino, even if it doesn't work out, take that 30 minutes or 45 minutes to get the child their CRBA, give them some options later on in life. I've got 3 children over here, and my 2 sons, they're both U.S. citizens. My daughter, she was born during the pandemic. We haven't been up to Manila to get her CRBA, but it's only a technicality. It's nothing to do. It's very simple. It costs about $200, but it's the right thing to do. They're not stuck here when they could go at any time. My sons can leave at any time they want to and go home.
Now I got a quick question for all three of you, because I've only been here 6 months. So in a year, I supposedly have to go out and come back in and get my visa restamped. But I've recently been talking to my wife.
3 years.
It's not like that. Oh, is it 3 years?
No, listen. When you came in with your wife,
right.
What did they stamp on your passport? Valid ban?
What? Oh, I'm not sure.
Look on your passport.
Get your passport.
If you don't have a 13A, you got a valid ban because you came in with your wife. That means you actually have 4 years. You're like me. Okay. Normally, you get 36 months, but the first year under the valid ban visa, it's free. You don't pay any visa fees. See, that's what you're talking about. That's why you think you have to leave after 1 year. No, that year is free. It doesn't count. So then once your year is up, you have to start renewing every month, 2 months or 6 months, up to 36 months. So you'll have 48 months here, just like me.
Okay.
But on your passport, it'll have valid ban.
Well, it's put up somewhere. My wife put it up, so I don't know where it's at. But once she comes back, I'm going to get it and look at it.
And Calvin had to pay for that information. You got it for free here.
Right.
That's true, right, Calvin?
Yeah, I had to pay for that because I was here December the 5th would have been my 3 years. I thought I was going to have to leave. So I went to get to file for what's called a motion of reconsideration. And when the lady looked at my passport, she said, "Oh, you came in on a valid ban visa. You have 1 year left because your first year doesn't count. So no, you don't have to go anywhere after 1 year. You would never have to go anywhere anyway. Even if you came in here on a regular tourist visa, you wouldn't have to leave and go out after 1 year. That would be 36 months. Now, your first year, you haven't paid any fees, right?
No fees.
Yeah, you're under the valid ban visa. See, so that's why. Now after that year, after you're here a year, you're gonna have to go to Cloven and renew your visa.
Okay.
For 1 month, 2 months, or 6 months, and you're lucky because you're not that far from Cloven, and it's one of the fastest immigration processes in the whole Philippines.
Okay.
You're not going to be there for no more than 10 or 15 minutes, and you're going to be out of there.
Okay.
Paul Smith had a question here. He said, "John, please clarify. The exception would be only if they're your natural children. I do not know all the laws on natural children because I do not have any here, but I still don't think you're allowed to discipline them." And Daryl Fairmore said, "John Wells, so when I moved to the Philippines, I cannot be alone with my stepson. So I have to adopt them to be alone with him." Yes, that's my understanding. What about yours, Calvin?
In public, they're not going to come to your house, but I'm saying they wouldn't even. Okay, John got away with it before. Okay,
a bunch of times, but I didn't know any better.
Yeah, and see, the problem is over here they've got what's called concerned citizens. If somebody sees you, all you have to do is go online. You'll see the Swedish guy. He's from Norway. He was from Norway. He was taking his girlfriend's kids to the beach.
And didn't he have her sister with him too?
Yeah, the sister who was 18 and the cousin was 19. Somebody called the police on him. They arrested him right there in the bus station. They lived with him. He was building them a new house. It didn't matter. Even when the mother showed up to talk to the police, it didn't matter. He got out on bond, went back to Norway, and he hasn't been back since.
Can you blame him?
He cleared his name. He cleared his name. Took him 5 years, 3 years or 5 years to clear his name. Paid a lot of money to a lawyer here to clear his name, but he's afraid to come back. They got him on that.
Okay.
So you have to be real careful.
Okay.
I'll say one thing. A neighbor girl of mine didn't have a pair of shoes. So I asked her parents if I could take her over to City Mall, which is like a 3-minute walk from my place. I took her over there, let her pick out a pair of flip-flops. She got questioned by the checkout girl at Save More there very thoroughly. What are you doing with him? Why are you here with him? So it is a thing. I was lucky, but it is a thing.
James Small says, Calvin, hello guys. I'm older than you all. I'm 73, so I wonder if I'm too old to look for a Filipina, even though I'm in good shape for my age. Well, John's neighbor, he's about your age, and his wife is, well, they're not married. She's 30.
What's up, baby?
So you're not too old.
You won't have no problems.
Can you handle it? That's the problem. That's what I tell you.
Well, tell you, so 73 is the opposite of 37. I think it'll be okay.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for that super sticker, James Smalls. Yeah, that's the problem. If you can handle it, I've got a video called "Filipinas Are Widow Makers," and you know, a lot of men don't make it out of here alive.
But what a way to go! You got to go.
With these young women over here. So get a physical. Answer this question for me, black man in the village, because we talk about this all the time. Why don't men go to the doctor like women do? What is it with us that we won't go to the doctor?
Well, in my situation, the reason why I don't go to the doctor is because of my medical knowledge. I already know what they're gonna do and what they can't do, and I also being a man, I just like to take care of myself. It takes a lot for me to go to the doctor. I have to be almost half dead. I don't know. I just don't know why. It's just, to me, it's just unmanly to just go to the doctor for anything. You know, we're supposed to be tough. We're supposed to be the leaders. We're supposed to be, leading the household. So through thick and thin, I'm gonna stay at home and do what I need to do. I guess a man don't want to show weakness.
Yeah, whatever the reason is, it's the reason we die sooner. One of the reasons we die sooner than women, because we don't go. We don't get a checkup. I was an insurance agent for 18 years, and I was told that we don't want to go and sit in the doctor's office. We're afraid of what they're going to tell us.
Yeah.
And then you added something to it. You said, our ego, we want to take care of ourselves. It's a sign of weakness. Whatever it is, we don't go unless we absolutely have to go.
Right.
And sometimes that's too late, right?
Sometimes.
No, that's how I grew up. I never remember going to an annual doctor's visit. Only time I ever went to the dentist or to a doctor, to the hospital, if I was sick or something. I mean, really, really sick. And that's how I grew up. And as I got older, I never want to go to the doctor. Just recently, I started saying, you know what? I need to get me a primary physician. I need to start getting blood work, getting physical. And I think it's how we grew up, how our parents, treated us that way or what have you. But honestly, I never remember going to the doctor as a kid, unless I was just super sick, going to the hospital, the ER.
Carries over. Because I know as a black man, those years, those 10 years between 50 and 60, man, they're vital, man. And it kind of tells you how you were living in your 30s, because so many of my friends, man, just this year, they didn't make it to 60. 50, two of them were 55, one was 57. And I'm talking about, I had a brother die at 55. These is close friends, man, and because we don't take care of ourselves.
Right. But now, me at this age, I do more exercise than I did when I was young. Even though I didn't go to the doctor, and I still don't go to the doctor, But I do realize now that I need to keep healthy, and the only way I'm going to stay healthy, I run, I box.
So tell me, black man, how old is your Panay?
She is 48.
Oh, okay.
So they're
I
about
thought
the
maybe
same
that's why you
age.
get more
How old are you?
exercise.
Well, they're
Now,
the
I'm
same age.
56.
Oh, you're 56. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 56. She's 48.
Yeah. That see, self-care, it begins with self-care. That's the way I am. I work out. I try to eat. I eat a whole lot better here than I did in America. That's for sure. And
Well,
I
I have
don't
no
smoke.
choice.
I don't smoke. I don't drink.
I have the
I
tools.
do, indulge. I probably have sex a little bit more than I should, but that's about my only vice that I have, really. But
Well,
a lot of us
I've
don't
lost
know
weight.
that. Yeah, I've lost 30
I've
pounds
lost
since
weight
I've
since
been
I got here.
Yeah,
Well, see, from what I used to eat and what I enjoy, I'm in the wrong place because I'm not a seafood person. I don't like fish. I don't like rice. So
yeah,
that's the daily meal in the house, fish and rice. So I don't eat that. I rarely eat it. So I don't eat a lot of that. So I lose weight. But I go to town once a month and get some of the stuff that I like and keep it in the
yeah.
freezer.
Now, where do you go? To Cloven?
To Coben, yes.
Is that where you go?
So we have to take about it's like a 30-minute boat ride to the shore that we get off. And then we get on the van for about another hour and I say 15, 20 minutes to get to downtown Tacloban.
Did you see those watermarks still on a lot of those buildings down there? Have you ever noticed that?
No.
The next time you go, take a look at that when I was there. And did you see how Tacloban is right at sea level?
Right.
That's why so many people died from that hurricane. Yolanda.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't the
Oh, so the
hurricane.
water.
It was the water surge that came afterwards.
Oh, okay. So those markings is where the water was at during the
Yeah,
hurricane? Oh, okay.
yeah. That was underwater. Yeah, it was underwater.
Right,
It was the
underwater,
water
right.
surge. The hurricane was over. People was out going through their stuff, trying to recover whatever they could. When the water surge hit, they say 6,000 people, but when you talk to people in Tacloban, they'll tell you it's more like 20 or 25,000 people died.
Oh, okay.
It was very few people. Yeah, it gave me, whenever I'm there, it just gives me, it's got like a dark cloud over it because I knew what happened there.
Right,
And all
right.
the people that died.
Right.
I got one for Dana.
Right?
I got one for Dana Middleton. This is the Vicks Vapor Rub of the Philippines. They use it here. It smells just like Vicks.
Well, they use Vicks too here.
I haven't seen Vicks, but this is the same thing. It smells the same. And when my wife had low sugar, Jennifer came over and rubbed this all over, and she felt much better.
Hey, Walt Mosher, thanks for the super chat. He said, brothers, once you get over 55, you need to pay attention to your medical issues and educate yourself because cardiovascular disease, obesity, and diabetes will kill you. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, see, that's why I say about when you come to the Philippines, I got rejuvenated because it's hard to sit around here unless something's physically wrong with you. It's just too much to do,
Right.
in my opinion. I like to
And
swim. I like to hike.
Another reason why I exercise, and you hit it on one of your shows before, and I knew it before I came over here. And the reason why I exercise and try to stay in shape is because of the hospitals. I don't want to find myself having to go to the hospital and pay a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
So I figure I exercise and stay in shape. The more I stay in shape, the less time I'm going to need to go to a hospital.
and stay from behind the wheel of a car or motorcycle, that's going to help you too over here. Believe it or not. That's the most dangerous place over here. It's not the rebels. It's not the guns. It's the road. The Philippines, being on the road is the most dangerous place in the Philippines.
I agree.
You know, when we came through Manila, and I told my wife I would never ever live in Manila, and you hit it right on point. It's the roads in the driving and how dangerous and crowded those streets are. I could not live in Manila with that.
Yeah,
I couldn't live in Cebu or Bacolod either because of the same thing.
I can't even live in Dumaguete because
I couldn't live in Dumaguete.
My nerves are too bad. I'm not impatient enough. I can't deal with the traffic, man. Period.
And I noticed too, most of the drivers, they're not defensive drivers. They're all aggressive drivers. They won't give in for nothing. My brother-in-law was driving, and I was like, dude, is you going to get your car wrecked just because you don't want to let this guy in?
I think they don't care. That's what I think. I think they don't care.
That's offensive. It's offensive driving over here. It's offensive driving over here versus defensive in America. By the time my girlfriend stops, she's already halfway in the damn intersection. I'm like, what kind of driving is this? I mean, I'm scared to death.
To kind of get you killed.
Aggressive.
Yeah, it's offensive driving here, and everybody's in a hurry. I'm like, where are you going? To the sorry store to get a pint of wine and 2 cigarettes, and you gonna run me over, you know?
And you're right. No courtesy on the road.
No courtesy.
And it's crazy too, seeing these people trying to walk across the street, and the cars don't stop for them. Just
no.
I'm like, oh
look,
my God.
This is one thing you're gonna know over here. These crosswalks over here are the most dangerous part of the road. That's a waste of paint. Nobody stops. You try that in America, and you're gonna get a big fine, if not your license suspended. You do it over here, you don't get a second look. But yeah, you talked about something. I'm getting ready to make a video about this. It's called "There's No Seas in Philippines." There's no seas in Philippines, and I'm going to talk about there's no consideration, there's no courtesy. You know, there's no seas in Philippines, and people got to get used to that, man. You know, it's just something different than back home. I mean, because people will walk right in front of you in line. You'll be standing there in line. They'll just come in and walk right in front of you and take your, place their order or whatever it is.
It seems to me that there's no personal space here. So, black man, you say you're claustrophobic. Does that get you like in the stores and everything too? Because there's like no personal space here. No. Even walking on the sidewalk, everybody's all together.
Right. Not in the stores. My claustrophobia got to do with walls. If I got 4 walls around me, it's like I got to get out of this.
But see, you're like me. We got that in common. That's the reason I'm still here, because but it wasn't always like that. It was only maybe 2015 when it started getting like that. And it's hard for me to get on a plane, not because I'm afraid to fly, but it's the claustrophobia that gets to me. It's like, I need to, it's like, you can't get out on that plane.
Right. And that's it.
That's what bothers me. It's not, I'm not afraid to fly.
In my mind, it's the thought of, I'm locked into something that I can't get out. If I want to get out, I can't get out of it.
You have the control. You don't have no control.
Right. You have no control. I'm just locked in there until someone let me out. I don't like that feeling.
Yeah. That's what's got me over here. Because my kids be like, Daddy, when you gonna come back and visit? I'm like, I don't know. Whenever I can get my mind to that place where I can get back on that plane for 15 hours. I'm not there yet.
Well, the only way I got on the plane to come over here, I had to go visit me a doctor before I got on that plane and told him what's going on, and they had to give me something that I could take and relax so I can take that flight over here.
See, I didn't take anything. I was on that 15-hour flight. I mean, it's just the most boringest flight, boringest time of my life. That 15 hours from Chicago to Hong Kong, man. It's like being at work. That's why I don't work. That's why I became an insurance agent. I'm a clock watcher. An 8-hour day seems like a 24-hour day to me. Every time I'm looking at the clock and it's 5 minutes past, you do that for 15 hours, man, it'll drive you crazy.
So,
yeah,
Mr. Robert and Mr. John, where you guys originally from?
I'm from the hills of West Virginia.
Okay.
The mountains. And I was talking to a Filipino in the mountains west of our town, and she was very interested in the U.S. and was asking me a lot of questions. I said, well, the province I'm from, West Virginia, they treat the mountain people just like the Filipinos treat the mountain people here. They think they're stupid and ignorant and backward. And she goes, they do that in America too? I said, oh, yeah.
Black man in the village. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I'm still here in the States. I'm not in the Philippines yet.
Oh, okay.
My goal is to eventually come and visit, and my main goal is to retire there.
Right.
Unfortunately, the Philippines is not open, and I meant to tell Calvin and John this in the beginning of the live. I bought my ticket to Thailand. I'm going in the beginning of March. I'm gonna go for a month since I can't go to the Philippines like I want to. So I'm gonna just travel around until the Philippines open up.
Oh, okay.
Hey, thanks, Buck, for that super chat. He said, "Tell John his name is Will."
Nice to meet you, Will.
Louisville, Kentucky.
Nice to meet you too.
I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. City of the Big Three, they call it. Kentucky Fried Chicken, Ali, and me.
Papa John's too.
Yeah, but he's not one of the Big Three.
King Arthur asked me, how were you when you got your first pair of shoes? It was 6 years old when I got my first pair of my own shoes. Now I had shoes from other people's. Yeah, I grew up very poor.
Yeah, I've been around where you're from, John, up in them hills but I guess it's not so bad in Huntington, West Virginia.
I say you were in the good parts.
Yeah, Wheeling, West Virginia.
You were in the good parts.
I've been to Appalachia along that Western Kentucky Parkway in Kentucky, man. I've seen it. It looks as bad there as it does in some parts of the Philippines, and that's fact. That's 100% fact.
True.
I mean, even as an insurance agent, if you go, I believe you lived in Shepherdsville before, John, right?
Yes, I did.
In some parts of Shepherdsville, those folks are living in trailers with no doors on the front. And I'm asking this guy, I said, man, what happened to your door? He said, the drug addicts took it and pawned it for some methamphetamine.
For the aluminum?
Yeah, this is right in the United States. I mean, he's living in a trailer with no door on the damn thing. Right. Wow.
Hey, Calvin, how far is Paducah, Kentucky from you?
That's a long way. That's probably about 5 hours from me.
Okay.
Going down that Western Kentucky Parkway I'm telling you about.
Okay.
And you see them houses where you can see between the boards in the house. And you're like,
yeah,
man.
I had a college friend from Paducah, and we ended up driving, going back to Paducah to his hometown or what have you. Had one of the best hole-in-the-wall clubs ever. You know, it was good Southern hospitality.
Yeah,
I spent a few years in Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah, see, that's along that Western Kentucky Parkway. But when I was in Memphis, Tennessee, I was stationed in a little part called Millington, Tennessee, and when you go north of there, the nightclubs had dirt floors. There was nothing fancy about it, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
And
yeah, it's poverty everywhere.
and I agree with Robert. They got some clubs there.
Yeah.
You know, I was a military man at that time, and we got around in Kentucky, so I knew the clubs.
Eric says, "What are some of your present and future plans?" Well, I'm writing my book now, and I got to. I'm almost there, really, guys. But I'm doing that, and then I'm also taking some singing lessons, believe it or not.
Not singing lessons.
Yeah, on YouTube though.
Okay.
So you might see me go like this. I'm not drunk. That's just an exercise I'm doing. But
Unless John do
it. I truly got rejuvenated, man. You know, it's like, why not, write a book? Why not, make an album? The sky's the limit for me now. There's nothing I wouldn't try one time when I came over here. Now that I'm here.
Right.
It's like I ain't got nothing else to lose. I'm 58.
Right.
I'm in the third quarter of my life.
You even drank balut juice. I couldn't.
Yeah. But it was terrible.
Oh.
Matter of fact.
But as far as the singing lessons, I'm kind of on that same board with you because since I married my wife, I'm doing things I ain't never did, and one of them is karaoke. I've never ever karaoke in my life until I met her. So I want to be sounding good when I do karaoke. So every now and then I do the same thing, Calvin. I go on YouTube and I do these little singing lessons.
Will, why would you want to sound good? Nobody else does.
Right. See, you took the words out of my mouth, John. That's the whole point of singing karaoke is to sound terrible.
They sure do here.
Well, you know what, John, you're right, because sometimes I'll be sitting with my wife and like if one of her brothers or cousins that are male, when they sing, I'll look at my wife.
It's horrible.
Like,
it's
right.
horrible.
I'll be like, oh my God, I can sing after him.
But that's the fun part of it, man. You should hear my girlfriend. She's terrible. She sounds like I don't know what she would call it. But
thank you, Buffalo Dan.
But that's just the competitive spirit in me. I want to sound good.
But yeah, you better see. I've only in my 12 years being here off and on, I can tell you I probably only sang karaoke 3 times in my because I'd be scared to death. I'm too shy, I'm scared to death. I sung One in a Million twice, and then I sung your song I sung for her one song at the beach by Elton John. That was it. But yeah, guys, I gotta get off here.
Okay.
You gotta go to. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm gonna give y'all. I'm gonna give y'all some parting words, whatever you want to say. I'm gonna start with you, Will. You got any final thoughts? Just
Yeah, I'm glad that I caught you guys. I was actually just going in my mailbox looking for something, and I saw your email, and I was like, oh, let me click on this. So it was good. I've learned some things that I needed to know about the visa because that's been worrying me lately. And to the viewers that's out there, my name is Will from the United States, and any you guys got time, just come check out my blog. My rest of my life to me is dedicated to helping people. That's what I'm about now. So just come check me out. I think you'll like some of the material I got. And I watch Calvin a lot. So now I got 2 more fans, John and Robert. Glad to meet you guys, and thank you.
Hey, Michael, put his information up again, and I'm going to have you back next week, Will, if on the panel, because I have a panel every Tuesday, because we want to hear a little bit more from you. You got on here late, so look in your mailbox. It should be. I usually do it Monday night here. I'll send you the link Monday night for Tuesday morning. Okay.
Okay.
I'll bring you back on. I want to hear more about what you got to say. Okay, Robert.
Okay.
You got any final thoughts?
Hey, listen, Robert from St. Louis, Missouri. Listen, I'm waiting to come to the Philippines. If you notice, I changed my my handle. It's not Robert coming to the Philippines Jones. I cut that out because I know I can't come. I'm going to Thailand. I'm hoping Thailand doesn't love me good because I don't know. I might never come back, man. Listen, I've been waiting on the Philippines, man. It's on y'all. I'm gonna go to Thailand. I'm gonna visit. I promise not to fall in love there, but I'm looking forward to coming to the Philippines. My first experience in the Philippines was as a baby. Don't recollect it. Listen from my father, but again, vloggers like Calvin and so many others, even Black Man in the Philippines, the things that they're doing. Not only because Calvin's talking about how it is in the Philippines, but also what he does. That's a beautiful thing, man. That's why I support him. I don't care about all the other crazy stuff that other people got to say. The same thing as a Black in the Philippines, watching what he's doing. Hey, I definitely want to tip my hat to you guys, man. Continue doing what you're doing. I will continue to support you guys the way I have been. And John, I love you. I'm done drinking because I got to go work in the morning, John. I'm still in the hamster wheel, unfortunately. But I look forward to you guys. Continue doing what you guys doing. Hopefully, I can be on another live panel.
I know
so. This might not have been as maybe funny or lively as other ones, but we'll get there. Me, I have no filter, so I had to be really careful when I said Calvin. I don't want to mess.
Don't be careful.
No, I got you, man.
We give you the nitty gritty on here. We don't worry about that. There's his channel. There's his link.
Black Man Village, yeah.
Everybody.
Thank you for having me, Calvin.
Thank you. Man. We'll have you back too. Okay, John, give us some final thoughts.
Robert and Will, thanks a lot for coming on. I thought you both did very well. I'll answer one last question. Dana Middleton said, Calvin shy. Believe it or not, Calvin is very shy. I can't believe he can get on YouTube and do such a good job. He really is shy. The first time I met him, I mean, he is really shy. It's a fact. But thank you all for having me on here and listening to my BS. That's all I got to say.
Yeah,
join us Fridays.
Everybody for coming on today. Thank y'all for your super chats, your super stickers, your thumbs up, all your support for my channel. It's been amazing, man, really. And I say it all the time. I never take it for granted. If you'd have told me 15 months ago that I'd be sitting up here with almost 24,000 subscribers, a thriving YouTube channel, that's not why I started this channel. I never in my wildest dreams imagined all of this. One time, me and John, we had 400 people watching on the live stream. That's crazy to me.
Awesome.
John said the other day, he said on my couch right here, he said, Calvin, I can't believe they watch us. And that's really the way I think something. I never saw any of this.
I'm glad you do, though.
I'll never take it for granted, and I do the best I can, guys. And I really mean that, but yeah, just have some patience, man. The Philippines is not this close from opening up. And, I'll say this and I'll get off here. If it's your first trip, bring as much money as you can afford and stay as long as you can, because there's only one first trip to the Philippines. So take care, stay safe, stay COVID free. I'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Right on. Thank you.